Am I ready? I think I'm ready. Roll 20, voice thingy, notes, other notes. Oh, gotta get my threat.
As far as we know, you're ready.
Yeah, you could probably start reading.
Okay. Captain's log. Stardate 53723.4. The last month has been rough on the 10th Fleet, to say the least. While the most recent incident with the Zarkonians resolved itself with very little issue, other things in the 10th Fleet have not been clean. Most notably, of course, the USS Syrinx encounter with a Borg sphere, and the loss of the Miramar. All that loss of life, truly regrettable. In addition, there was also an incident last week with the USS Hadfield in which they ran aground of an Orion trap. But thanks to the quick actions of the Everest, they escaped. Apparently, whatever information they found has been receiving the top secret treatment by Starfleet. I haven't been told anything yet. Just as well, we have our own situation brewing. The Kismet has been dispatched to the 9th moon orbiting Niles 8BY, a super gas giant in the Lepra system. We've been dispatched to check up on a science team that's gone missing. They've missed their scheduled check-ins 3 times now. The Kismet is due to arrive in 3 hours. Who knows what we're going to find there. End log.
All right, so as the captain has stated, you guys will be arriving at the planet in approximately 3 hours. So if there's any role playing you guys want to do, any character development stuff, now is going to be the best time to do it, because I cannot guarantee any more time for the rest of the arc just because of how it's going to work. So if you guys got anything you want to run, by all means, now is the time. And I'm going to drop something into the Discord chat. That is the information on the planet. Or, sorry, not the planet, the moon.
Varro, you have anything you want to do? Especially since you've been away so long?
I have a short scene considering things that have happened. I go to the captain's ready room.
Oh, I got door chime stuff. Hold on. I'm almost ready. That's the chair. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Enter.
Sir. With the recent possibility of a resurgent Borg threat, I'd like permission to start running at least weekly combat drills for the Kismet. I want to be ready if they come back.
Combat drills are something I always like to avoid when possible, but given that we're dealing with the Borg of all things, I suppose we don't have too much of a choice now, do we?
No, sir. It never hurts to be prepared, and in this case, it would hurt much more not to be.
Doubly so. Very well. Weekly combat drills it is.
Very good, sir. And on a further note, I'd like to make some requisitions to command for additional armaments for the Kismet.
Additional armaments? What are you thinking?
There are some new phaser focusing lenses that I think might be helpful in combating the Borg if they do return.
Understood. And he clenches his fist a little and says, Make the request. I'll put my name on it." And he rubs the bridge of his nose, and oh boy, Varro, you can just feel the discontent coming off of him.
Captain, I know you don't want this to be a warship, but sometimes we have to be the shield of the Federation.
I know. We're the flagship. That's our job. If the 10th Fleet is to take a combat role, so does her flagship. I get that, but damn it.
More than that, we're starved, and we have a duty.
That we do. That we do. But man, with everything that's been happening past few weeks, feels like we've strayed further and further from our original designation as a ship of exploration, doesn't it?
Exploration's well and good, sir. But sometimes it has to take a back seat. There has to be something that we're working for.
Right. Now, I assume that you have continued your work looking into possibilities of further biological attacks like the one we encountered last month.
Yes, sir. So far, little progress.
Yeah, the existence of a Maquis-style raider during our encounter has certainly muddied the waters, to say the least. It's given us very few leads to go on.
Indeed, I have feelers out. But so far, well, they're not exactly the most reliable contacts, sir.
Understood. I'm sure you're doing the best you can given the circumstances, Varro. The 10th Fleet right now is rather strained, what with everything going on. Let's just hope that everything with this science team just a false alarm.
Indeed. And, sir, if I don't get anything back soon, I have one more contact I can reach out to, but I'm reluctant to.
Understood. Well, I leave it to your discretion. Anything else, Commander?
No, sir.
Very well, Exo, you're dismissed.
Thank you, sir. And I depart.
All right.
There was
Does
something
anybody
a little
else
bit-
have anything? Oh, what was that, Commander?
There was something a little bit different about Varro. He seemed to be acting more like a Starfleet officer than you're used to.
Oh, yeah, as in opposed to sort of how he's just very closed off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Noted.
All right. Any other roleplay scenes you guys want to run?
Yeah.
Anyone want to meet the chicken?
Could I have a brief moment with Evans?
Sure.
Ooh.
Go ahead and set it up, Ben.
So, I'd have Evans probably in a dimly lit corridor or somewhere where not a lot of people are.
Where you can pull a knife out from behind your back and...
Catch me in the dark alleyways.
Christ.
So, Troy, here's the thing. I have people set up for when it needs to happen, but are you still in for our little escapade?
Yes, I am.
Oh no.
Looking forward to it.
That is very good to hear. All I need to know is how good are you at chicken chasing?
Well, I can't remember a time where I specifically chased a chicken, but I have caught a cat before.
Good enough. And remember, don't mention this to anyone, really. There's a select few that are already participating. But you'll be pleasantly surprised of how many people are on board.
Of course, that would spoil the whole thing.
Then let's get back to our duty so no one gets suspicious.
That we should.
You two are begging for trouble.
At least there's no alcohol involved this time.
Yep, because the game master knows of an alcohol that can get a Tellarite drunk.
Oh god.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I like to think I've been drilling my staff on catching people running around the ship.
Anti-penned measures.
All right, anybody else have Anything they want to run?
I don't think anything's going to beat chicken chasing.
Jula, did you have any scenes you wanted to run?
I don't know where I am where this is happening. I assume I don't know about it.
No. It sounded like they were in a dimly lit corridor somewhere on one of the lower decks.
Yeah, somewhere deliberately chosen because of its distance from me, I bet.
And me.
Oh, assuredly.
Cool. Yeah. So if no one has anything else, you guys ought to at our moon.
All right.
That was nowhere near loud enough. Oh well.
Whoops.
All right. The Kismet has just arrived around the 9th moon of the Nilly's 8BY planet. And yes, do I have to read anything? Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty, guys. Bear with me.
Yeah. You're good.
Am I scanning anything?
Are you?
Should I? Normally I scan the surface or I scan the nearby space. If I did this, would I find anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary, other than it's a desert planet. It's devoid of life. There's not much on it. It does have the oxygen argon atmosphere. So basically, the thing I sent you in chat is what you're finding out. Higher than normal gravity, just basic stuff like that.
Lieutenant Ajula, do we have anything in our computer
Okay,
database?
I tell everyone.
Do we have anything in our computer database about the Niles 8BY outpost?
Is this a thing I should roll for?
This is a thing that you could roll for. Yes.
Let's roll.
We will make it a. What do I want to make it? Let's make it Reason Science difficulty 1 or 2. Make it difficulty 2.
We're always fighting the planet, Christoph. Always.
All right. You get. So when you try to interface with the Federation's database about this outpost, you get a message stating insufficient clearance level.
Really?
Okay. I call over Commander Varro.
All right. I enter in my Starfleet clearance.
And again, you get insufficient clearance level.
Okay, this must be a computer bug.
What level clearance does it need? And the captain actually gets up out of his seat and he walks over to where the commander and Ajula are seated.
Would you like that to be your free question?
Yeah, let's make it.
The computer chimes in, clearance level 11 is required.
Which translates to a rank position.
That I don't even have. I'm clearance level 10.
Okay, so Starfleet Command, in its infinite wisdom, sends out people who are not cleared to access this data to the planet.
Intriguing.
What do they have down there?
I don't know, but I say anyone level clearance 11 or above doesn't have sufficient clearance to find out what we... New rule.
Lieutenant, clearance levels exist for a reason. And I'm sure Starfleet knows what they're doing sending us out here.
Lieutenant Pend, how far out are we from the 9th moon?
I think at this point you guys are probably just entering the orbit.
But first, let me ask you, Lieutenant Pand, are we cleared for that information?
Well, I am. I don't know about you.
But the response was you guys are just about to enter orbit.
All
Yeah.
right. Captain takes his seat again.
I move over to my seat as well. I lean over to the captain. Captain, I might be able to access that information, but I'm cautious of doing so. Considering, well, nothing to get into right now.
Right. Not right now. We don't want to ruffle any feathers if we can help it.
Exactly, sir.
All right. Well, Mr. Ajula, can you get us a scan of the moon?
Yes, sir.
Reason and science difficulty 1.
Captain, I would like to plot a collision
shoot,
course with the moon.
We forgot to, I know we were gonna do
Oh.
that, Ed. What do you want us to do about... Oh my god!
Oh.
Wow! Wow!
Boy.
Okay, so Captain, what were you saying before I deal with?
This is a mess. Okay. We were gonna do something, we were gonna restat the Kismet at some point, because I came to the horrific realization today that the Kismet is unbelievably overpowered.
Yeah, so that's what. Okay, so yeah, let's just handle that now before I handle the roll. What was OP about it?
We have department levels that we shouldn't.
We do?
Yeah. I was playing around with the
This is what happens when you don't get Pen to make rolls.
Character generator earlier today, and I said, you know, I'm gonna try and build the Kismet just for the hell of it, and I couldn't because the stats don't actually line up.
Huh.
Okay,
I grab the here's what it should be. I grab the let's see, Luna class, and I grab the multi-role explorer along with the secondary reactors. That's all fine. But here's what our actual ship stats should be. Command of 2, Con of 2, Security of 2, Engineering 3, Science 4, Medicine 2.
So they're
we
all
have...
one higher than they should be.
Yeah, which is weird.
I mean,
So
That is weird.
how did that happen?
I don't know.
Well, they did do. Remember when they had the issue with the sheets, and they did an upgrade on it? It might have skewed some of the numbers, so it might be a good idea to check all the ships.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna double check it with the books.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the book too.
So
I don't see how we could have wound up with this.
the Luna class airframe is in the.
You see, I don't think it's
Beta
something with the
version.
airframe. My guess is somehow we put in the wrong numbers for the
Well, 'cause it was-
mission
well-
profile.
Well, we checked it one time and everything was correct.
That's weird. That is so weird.
just want to say, do we get a bonus for being the flagship?
Nah, nice try, but no.
The Luna class airframe, is that beta quadrant or is that in the command?
The Luna
Command.
command book. I know we're holding up the game, but
Well, it's something we need to do.
yeah.
It is.
Well, and
quite honestly, I'm not worried about timing.
Well, and there's one other problem that I ran into. Because of our new stats,
Yeah,
we no
so
longer qualify for the,
just for you, Christoph,
we no longer qualify
in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be guest appearing on the Everest, so get ready for that.
Damn it, why am I blanking on it? The improved targeting. Because that has a security prerequisite of 3, I believe.
It's fast targeting systems.
Yeah, fast targeting systems, and I'm pretty sure they have a prerequisite of 3. So, so we can't have fast targeting systems anymore.
Right. Why am I not finding these airframes?
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird that this happened.
Yeah, because like,
But well, if we want to keep the fast targeting systems, however, I'd be willing to move a point from engineering to security, using one of my milestones that one of my spotlight milestones that I have saved up. And that way we don't have to switch out that talent.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how that worked. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, you are right. You guys should have a science of 4, medicine 2, engineering 3. Everything else is at a 2.
Yeah. But would that be okay with you, Ed, if I moved a point from engineering to security using one of my milestones so that we can keep the fast targeting systems as they are?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
The only thing I could think of is someone was moving a stat earlier and just messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm thinking it might have just been the sheet glitch.
No, you see, I think I know what I think I might know what the problem is. I think when we were first entering these, because departments are the same, have a similar functionality to disciplines, but unlike disciplines for character sheets, they don't start at 1. They start at 0.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, that could make sense more.
Because I think the sheet starts them at 0.
Yeah.
I mean, starts them at 1, rather.
Right.
Or at least it did when we were creating it.
So I think we just added 2 points. So that being said, that would make sense. That would explain it.
Yeah.
If it's a problem with the sheet, you'd expect to see the same problem with every other ship.
Well, we might have to.
I just checked the Sarek and it is actually fine. But the Sarek was also made later.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the engine might have actually also.
Yeah, the engine might have been wrong, but who does?
But yeah.
I don't
does
even know
not
where that
matter anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know where that sheet
The engine is long gone.
Damn.
Does that sheet even still exist?
Yeah, I think it might.
I think it's in an archive somewhere.
Yeah, it might exist in the archive somewhere. I'll check later. Anyway, sorry for that total.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like the phasers were wrong or something. I didn't.
No. This was a much more serious like.
I don't think it affected much because they're departments and. Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Right.
I mean,
It
might have affected some roles.
Yeah, 1 additional point in every department could have absolutely turned some roles in our favor. But either way, if we've got
we're digressing at this point. And I think
okay, all good. Sorry. So where were we?
The 2 critical fails.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Azula.
I think I get to re-roll one of those.
Do you?
It's a task assisted by sensors, meaning I get to roll a d20.
What gives you
Technical expertise.
Yes.
So we might only have 1.
A mere 1 critical failure.
Yeah. So go ahead and re-roll one of them.
Just get at least a success.
Because then you can use the starships roll. Well, actually.
Yeah.
Nope, it was still a crit.
What? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
it's
It didn't
just
load
delayed.
there.
Okay, so you guys have 1 complication.
Wait, so what was the difficulty of the task, though?
1.
Oh, well then we could spend that 2 momentum to cancel the complication.
You could.
I say we do that, just because
I want to know what Ed thinks of. Come on, complicate us.
Well, no, besides, as science officer, you get a free question anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So am I keeping the complication to decide what to do with, or are you spending it?
This
I
is the
very
reason
much like
why
to not
Penn
have to
has
deal
to
with
roll
complication this
first.
early in the game.
Give the
Thank you.
GM threat,
Okay.
Oh, fine.
build the
Works
momentum.
for me. There's your info. So the rest of the planet is pretty unremarkable. Or I keep calling it a planet. It is a small moon.
It's a planetoid.
That's no moon.
That's a planet.
Anyway, Captain, it looks like we've found the research outpost up in the northern part of the moon, another desert region between two mountain ranges.
Hmm.
You might try hailing.
What?
You might try hailing them.
Hmm.
See if they pick up.
Agreed. Mr. Evans, try hailing them.
That I will. I'm not getting a response, sir.
I was afraid of that. Mr. Azula, how hard would it be to get around down there without EV suits? And I'd suggest using that as your free question.
That is my free question.
I will say refer to the above information, and I will not take the question.
Oh, okay.
Breathable atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we're not detecting any other toxins or other environmental hazards.
So, no need for the big, bulky environmental suits. Understood. Well, Commander Varro, I'd suggest putting together an away team.
Yes, sir. Lieutenant Njula, Lieutenant
Sir.
Evans.
Yes.
Assemble in the transporter room.
Right away.
Right away. Do we bring security?
I don't believe that'll be necessary.
As soon as you as soon as you beam down, I want you to check in with me, and then check in with me every half hour after that.
Understood, sir.
I am not in the mood today for any further complications.
Nor am I.
But they're the most fun.
I would imagine Penn saying that in character.
Yeah.
I am walking toward the door right now, and I don't turn around.
And this will be the door opening. Okay. All right, so the away team leaves the bridge and heads down to the transporter room. Anything else happening on the bridge?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to pull out my phaser and take control of the ship.
There's our complication.
Our complication is penned.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Nothing happened.
Okay, I thought you actually weren't kidding there for a moment. And
Maybe.
And that you pulled a cur. Christ, don't do that to me, Penn.
I was about to say roll, but all right.
Damn it, man.
We'll go to transporter with the commander entering the transporter room with Evans and Ajula already in there.
All right. As soon as we're in transporter, you should beam us down, Chief.
Aye, sir. Transporting now.
Oh man, we should start using the Kismet title page for this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to resize it, I think.
Yeah.
You're talking about the one I added, or something different?
Yeah, I'm talking about that one.
All right, so you beam into the command center post, and in the middle of the command center are a set of 4 desks, each containing pictures and personal mementos, no doubt from the inhabitants of this outpost. This command center has along one of the walls a set of computer terminals. The consoles are labeled life support, communications, power systems, laboratory power systems, containment fields. Along the other 3 walls are double sliding doors labeled laboratory, common area, quarters, and each door has a small control panel next to it. What you notice most about this, like it was fresh out of the production facility. Everything looks just a little bit too clean.
Intriguing.
Okay, I pull out my tricorder and I scan for life signs.
Okay, you are currently finding none.
What kind of life signs?
None. Finding none.
Oh.
I don't know if that got cut off, but I thought I said that. But you do not detect life signs.
Can you tell me the DNA makeup of these nuns?
Although I am seeing our life signs and other indication the equipment is functioning properly.
Yeah, you're reading your life signs, but in terms of anything other than the awakening, you do not detect any.
Gotcha.
Okay, I pass that information on to the team.
Expected. All right. Let's see if we can find any functional computer interfaces.
I remember there being 4 computer terminals here. Is that right?
Let me double check my number.
Could you just send us a
Yeah,
text of the exposition there?
Yeah.
And on that note, as soon as Ajula and Evans have stepped off, away team to Kismet.
Oh, I got a chirp here.
Kismet here. I take it you've arrived safely, Varro?
Indeed, sir. As expected, no life signs. The outpost seems to be functioning. No signs of damage or disrepair. The entire place looks like it was just assembled.
Well, that's certainly odd. I want you to keep looking around, see if you can find yourself any answers. Let me know as soon as you find anything of interest or if you need anything. We're all in your corner up here. XO. Kismet out.
I call over. Hey, Commander.
Lieutenant?
Do we know the identities of any of the personnel assigned to the station? Maybe if we look them up in the computer system, we might find some information that was blocked out when we tried to access it by other.
We might be able to find that information here, yes. Simple personnel roster, perhaps. If not, I might be able to do something.
Okay, so I go over to the nearest functional computer terminal. I see if I can access any basic records on the people who worked here and what they were doing.
Right. So this is going to be a control, and for you, either science or engineering, difficulty 5.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I could use some help on this, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to assist.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna buy 2 extra dice with 3 momentum.
We don't have
There's no
momentum.
momentum.
Give him
We don't
threat.
have momentum.
Give him a threat.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed, have a threat. I'm giving you a threat for 1 extra die.
Okay.
Who's assisting me?
I'm assisting on this.
Okay, is the computer system assisting me in any way?
You can borrow. You can use your security stat.
I can.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, no, the computers are not assisting you.
What's the attribute? I missed it.
Control.
Oh my god, all Varro has to do is get 1 success and you actually make this check.
Please do.
Come on, complication.
What was the focus you used?
I didn't use a focus.
It was the Jula.
Good evening, sir.
Encryption, decryption. Sorry, for a moment I thought it was sensor systems there. I realized it was a computer. But I think encryption, decryption may apply here if there's any security.
Yeah, it does. I was just asking because I saw the 2 and it was not a 1. So, So what
Well,
does
we
the
failed.
computer tell you then? The computer will tell you. Where's my unauthorized access detected? Clearance level is insufficient.
Intriguing. It's locally locked as well.
I'd like to go to the containment fields terminal and see how many, if any, of the containment fields are lowered. Like if it seems like there's anything lowered that should not be.
Okay.
By the way, wasn't Evans going to assist on this roll?
No, just Varo said. Evans, when you try to access the containment field, it's access denied, authorization required.
Probably should have expected that.
Of course, we're the one Starfleet Command sent on this expedition. Why wouldn't this happen?
Well, I hope you enjoy this apparently
I move over to a different console.
ever-evolving clusterfuck.
Okay.
I just want to confirm that I used my authorization when I was assisting, and it was still denied.
Roll reason, security, difficulty 2. Oh god, that is not how I wanted it. There it is.
There we go.
Sorry, Varo. That's what you get.
All right. Four doctors. Let's see, we've got human, Vulcan, and Boolean. Looks like something in biology.
I'm sorry, what are you looking up? You cut out a little bit.
Looks like four doctors. We've got a human, Vulcan, and Boolean. They've got an emphasis in biology.
Is there any particular field?
We've got four fields here: a geneticist, immunologist, simple medical, and a xenobiologist.
A meteorologist?
Xenobiologist.
No, the second in the sequence.
Immunologist.
Immunologist, I see.
Sorry, I still have a little bit of a mucousy throat. Here is the information I have.
So they're doing medical research on an habitable but uninhabited world in the Shackleton Expanse.
I don't like the implications of that.
Not when it's highly classified, certainly not.
No. All right. I'll see what I can do to temporarily unlock this facility.
In the meantime, what do you say about we can acquire some biohazard suits?
I'd say that would be a wise precaution, Lieutenant. Would you contact the ship to make that procurement?
That I will, sir.
You gonna say anything, Azula?
Oh, sorry, I contacted the ship. Jula to Kismet.
Kismet here, Lieutenant.
Captain, we found evidence that this may be some kind of a a bio warfare research facility. We can't access everything's highly classified. We have found the 4 crew members here are physicians, a geneticist, immunologist, and a xenobiologist. Putting all this together, I'm not sure this was civilian research.
Probably not. In that case, do you need any assistance from our end?
Frankly, we would appreciate some suits that'll protect us against any exposure to chemical or biological agents.
Understood. Well, I'll have Dr. Efrix put those together and have them sent down to you as soon as possible.
And
Understood, sir.
I will need an opportunity cost for them.
Oh, we actually have any momentum?
You do not.
Okay, so that'll have to wait until we get some momentum.
But I will also allow the cost to be paid with escalation.
To be paid with what?
Escalation, which is
cost.
threat.
Yeah.
I'll
Probably escalation 2.
I'd say do it.
I vote yes.
What, give him the threat?
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to roll something like a round.
Well, hang on. And you, Evans?
Oh, are you asking if I agree to this?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say it's probably a good idea.
Okay, well then we'll give him the threat then.
Okay. Dr. Efrix reports that the biohazard
Yeah.
are prepared.
I always loved this about the Kismet. Threat is a fantastic resource, yet they hate using it unless absolutely necessary.
Oh. Yeah. All right, there's the demon.
Ooh,
All right, people. Let's suit up.
You should be at 13 threat right now, I think.
Yep. I am.
Oof.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
And now we're doing a biohazard episode without our doctor.
Oh,
Yep. I would have taken her if she was here.
Looks
Right.
like a Jula is pulling double duty.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to turn on a hologram.
Good.
and I know how to screw up a shoulder worse than it already is.
Oh, trauma. Okay, so right now I'm working on the console to see if I can remove the clearance level roadblocks temporarily.
Roll me. Reason or the pride control on this one. Control security difficulty 2.
Right. There we go.
All right. Over the computer voice, it says unauthorized access detected. Clearance level is insufficient.
Wait. I did make the roll.
I know.
Okay. Intriguing.
Computer, I am less than intrigued.
Well, it seems we're going to have to bypass these roadblocks if we want to learn anything. But I'll have to do them manually. The system doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me.
I have to wonder who leaves highly classified information in an isolated outpost outside Federation space where anyone can just show up, steal it, and take it back to wherever they want to try and decrypt.
I have a suspicion, Lieutenant, that this outpost's abandonment was not intentional.
What if they weren't abandoned? Suppose we were a Romulan warbird. We showed up. You think we couldn't take 4 Federation research physicians and run off with their data?
Sometimes secrecy is enough protection. Sometimes. And if you can't afford to commit resources, then sometimes it's all you can afford.
Sometimes I think the Federation Council just needs to appropriate the budget.
In that, we're in agreement, Lieutenant. However, we must work with the system that we have.
Yes, sir.
And the system and limitations we have right now make our further moves difficult. All right, so if I try and pull up any more information on the research personnel, am I blocked again?
Other than the information I gave you, yes.
All right. And because I didn't ask before, which command codes did I use to access that information?
I am assuming your Commander of our command codes.
All right.
Because I did not hear anything to the contrary.
I just wanted to confirm that was the operation. That was what I was operating under as well. All right. Varro to Kismet.
Kismet here.
We've encountered heavy encryption on nearly all information existing on this outpost. Captain, I'd like you to run a few names through the Kismet's computer with your authorization, if you would.
Understood.
Dr. Manu Kalb.
Kalb. Next name?
Dr. Tapril.
Okay, Trill.
Dr. Naf Donar.
All right.
Dr. Matty Kirby.
A lot of doctors you have there.
Indeed. The research base, while not staffed terribly quantitatively, has some degree of talent, or had, as the case may be.
Well, give me a couple minutes. So the captain goes back into his ready room and sent me a thing. About a couple minutes later, you get a chirp back down. Well, Commander Varro? I managed to find the following information. Dr. Menu Kalb, geneticist. Dr. Tapril, immunologist, Vulcan female. Dr. Naf Dinar, medical doctor, Bolian male. Dr. Matty Kirby, xenobiologist, human female. That help you at all?
Not terribly, sir. It just confirms what Lieutenant Ajula had suspected.
Ajula here, Captain. Is there any indication these physicians were members of Starfleet? Do they have personnel records? Any biographical information?
Nothing that I could access.
Are they specifying why you can't access it? Is it a matter of security clearance once again?
It would appear so.
All right. Captain, I think this has gone on long enough. I'm going to see what I can do to bypass this security.
Agreed. We have to break the stalemate.
Although, as the lieutenant questioned, why would Starfleet send us out here if we're unable to do much of anything at all?
Agreed.
You know, Commander, given that there are only physicians 4 physicians assigned to this facility, I'm wondering if the rest of the work was done by holograms or anything else inside the computer system. It seems odd that there would only be 4 people assigned to this entire facility.
It's possible their work was supplemented by it, but if my suspicions are correct, people who set up this facility might not trust computer programs or holograms. Everything here reeks of an intelligence operation.
Well, nobody knows intelligence like you do, Commander. And, you just hear the exasperation in his voice. Do what you must. Kismet out.
Understood, sir. All right, and now I pull out the big gun. I go to console and type in my authorization codes.
Okay, roll me security presence difficulty 3.
Want any help with that, Commander? Looks like you're still wrestling with the computer.
This is unable to be assisted
I'm
Oh, not
afraid you
even
can't help me, Lieutenant.
Oh,
because he's using his big gun.
Mm-hmm.
Threat.
Determination.
I just keep an eye on him since I'm curious what he's doing.
Oh, if you come anywhere near here,
Varro, could you use some determination? Because
mm-hmm. Can I invoke the Price of Peace's vigilance?
Yeah. Let me see the words in the sea. If you could sell me on it, I'm not sold by looking at it.
Okay. Let's see.
well, this is him trying to break an encryption. This is him trying to gather information.
This is that knowledge is power, and this power helps me protect the Federation. And I must do what I need to get that power.
I'll
Whatever
allow
that
it.
requires.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Now you just need one success. And you
All
got
right.
you get a momentum and roll your challenge die because you have
Mhm.
veteran, right?
I do.
See if you get it back.
I have never gotten it back. Hey, I got
Yes!
it back!
Yes.
As you say that.
Yeah, I just have to be a pessimist, and then things work.
So you got to be Commander Var, and
Yeah,
things
exactly.
work.
Exactly. You have to think into the role.
So
That feels
what
good.
So Commander, what I sent you is all you get.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I take it your clearance still doesn't work, Commander.
Yeah, there's nothing on Varro's face. That was just player reaction. Varro. I step back from the console. My eyebrows furrow a little bit. Then I wipe the recent memory from this console.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Captain, sorry, Varro to Captain.
Kismet here. Any updates? I take it your clearance managed to get through if you're coming back to me so quickly.
I'm afraid I haven't been able to find anything.
I see. Well,
All I've confirmed is that our job here is not to know what they were doing,
well,
not according to our orders.
that sounds about right then. Well, see if you can pick up any biological traces, anything that could hint to their location.
We'll complete as thorough an investigation as we can, sir.
Very good. Kismet out.
Well, let's start with a scan from close range. See if we can pick up any traces of any kind of chemical or biological warfare.
Yes. We'll have to go through this facility room by room.
Oh, the dirty plays, even by the commander. Information
I don't
nobody
think there's anything more to
knows.
find in the command area.
All right,
Only if you wanna
Commander.
look through the
If there's
desks.
nothing else, then I point to a door and I say, let's start over there.
Lead the way.
Sorry, which I didn't hear what door. Which door are you guys heading to?
I pick the door randomly.
Okay. Which one?
I'm picking laboratory.
Okay. You approach the door, and nothing happens.
Computer, open door to laboratory. Authorization Sigma 7 Tau, if that matters.
Do.
If that matters. Great.
Computer, do I need to pry that door open?
Hold on. I was looking through my notes. I do have something. So when you say that and you try to give your authorization, access denied. Authorization required.
Computer, this is Lieutenant Malco Ajula. I am authorizing Commander Canalvaro to authorize to access this.
Access denied. Authorization required.
Computer, we have reason to suspect there's a fire in that.
Hey,
And
Julie, you just cut out.
you just totally cut out.
Computer, we have reason to suspect there is a fire in that laboratory. We need to get in there to suppress it.
Access denied. Authorization required.
Oh boy.
I head for the quarters. Then.
And the quarters open.
Yeah.
Okay.
You stupid.
It's your command code. All right.
See,
Best
you
passcode ever, Pen.
you laugh, but no enemy will ever fucking come to that.
Guess that. Yeah.
Whoever
Yeah.
comes to what?
No one will ever guess that that's the password to open your door. Open.
All right.
these-
So, Ajula, do you go to the quarters?
Yes, I walk in.
All right. Do I have anything to read this?
Evans, what do you do?
I'm gonna. I've kind of been wanting to look through the desks in this front room.
Okay, we'll do Evans first. All the desk contains are like personal nicknames, personal items, maybe pictures of a family members, basic stuff like that. This is really just like their, I don't know, not so much like they come here to relax, but this is like their, like just a general desk to put stuff on.
I want to make note of who all the family members are so we can contact them if we still need information when we get out of here.
It's really just photos, so.
Right. I want to see if there's anything linking them to major organizations in those photos, or if they're just in plain civilian garb in all of them.
So it would be like a picture of like one's husband, or like a picture of an extended family,
Alright.
maybe a picture of a child, stuff like that.
Got it.
Is there any way we could get any kind of biometric data off of that? If we could maybe do facial recognition, see if there's anybody we can find who might be able to give us indirectly the identities of these people.
We might be able to do something. Lieutenant Evans, scan these personal effects.
All right. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, just record them so we can have digital copies when we return to the Kismet.
We're looking for clues to their identity, Evans.
All right, we'll do. Just want to know if there's anything specific. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right, so Evans does that, and then Ajula said he was heading into the quarters. So that will be the door opening to the quarters. And so the quarters are obviously unlocked, and it has like all the basic amenities you'd expect. It has bunks, tables. The quarters seem to be divided into like four separate rooms. Like there's like as soon as you walk in, there's like a hallway that kind of goes perpendicular to the door. And then on that hallway on the far side of where you entered are 4 doors that kind of lead to their own sleeping area, and there's only 4 of them.
My way down.
What was that?
I start with the door on one side and I work my way down the line.
Right. What do you do?
I want to see if there's anybody in there, any signs of any bodies, any traces of anything.
So as you just kind of walk to each door opens up and opens into the room. And again, the rooms do not look like they have been lived in. I mean, there's wardrobes and there's desk and there's like little cupboards to put knickknacks, and all those are full of personal items, but nothing. It all still seems too neat. But you don't find any bodies. You don't find any.
And there's no chemical traces suggesting there might be a dissolved or disintegrated body?
No. Nothing you can visually see.
How about with the tricorder?
Roll me control. Is that even the right one?
Control science?
Hold on. My notes are all over the place. That's not the right one. There it is. Reason, science, difficulty.
Difficulty what?
2. All right.
You got it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I like to see.
And I don't think I could give you that one, so I'll give these. Where are you, Ajula? There you are.
Hey, Commander, I'm getting some kind of signal in here that's interfering with the operation of my tricorder. It's coming from one of these rooms. I'm going to investigate.
Very good. Report back to me when you find the source.
Okay, I go room by room until I find an indication of where it is.
All right, so you enter a room where the interference is getting stronger. Again, you find that there's no one in this. However, the signal seems to be coming from a wardrobe at the far wall of this room.
Okay. I carefully reach out and I pull on the drawers to the wardrobe.
All right, so the wardrobe is one of those like standing ones with the large doors. So you open the wardrobe, and in the wardrobe you see a human woman with light brown hair and black framed glasses. She is startled by your sudden opening of the door and attempts to hit you with a tricorder. So I will spend a threat to get a dice here.
You know, sending him off on his own is a great idea. I just want to say that right now.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be
Federation Starfleet, get out of that closet.
So she's attempting to hit you with the tricorder because you opened up the door and startled her. So she's trying to hit you with a tricorder. So go ahead and roll me daring secure. See if you are able to counter this attack. Because like essentially what happens is you open the door and then... So yeah, she hits you on the head with the tricorder.
Even though the implication
how
was
much damage does the tricorder do?
I'm just using the unarmed strike. So Jula, you are actually going to take 4 stress damage here.
Oof.
And it'll be your turn.
Okay.
So this is where you can actually say you're...
Ooh, you could try making the grapple check. Because that's a thing that's a thing that exists now. There are rules for making a grapple check.
Yeah, would I be the aggressor in this grapple, or am I defending?
Well, now it's your turn. So
yeah, so
essentially what happened is you open the door. She screams. She hits you with the tricorder in her hand. Hits you in the head pretty hard with it. they give you 4 points of stress. But now it's your turns. Now you can make your action.
I'm assuming we heard that scream in the command room.
Yeah. It's right off. Yeah, you heard it.
What I do is I pull my phaser and I say, Federation Starfleet, step out of the wardrobe right now.
Well, she's
Against
already.
that wall.
Give me. You're trying to be intimidating, I assume.
I'm trying to show her that I have a phaser. I'm identifying myself as a Starfleet officer, and I'm telling her to get up against that wall right fucking now.
All right. Well, with that,
security.
give me an intimidation.
That'd be what, present security?
Yes. I will make it difficulty 2, I think.
Oh my
And,
god.
19s.
Okay, if she doesn't comply, then I shoot her with the phaser.
So that
Well,
was
you already used your
yeah. So
shit
she's
fast.
going to attempt to hit you with the tricorder again. I will spend another threat. Go ahead and give me that same daring security roll.
We have one momentum, I will remind you.
There we go.
All right, this time you win the check, so you can you can do something basically.
You can like punch her back.
Punch her back, try to throw her to the ground, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that grapple check stuff?
It's in the operations division book. Basically, it's instead of a daring security check, it's an opposed fitness security check.
Makes sense.
There's also a couple others that's like redirect, and I think it's like you can force someone to move a zone or something like that, which is useful if there's like a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's shove, I think.
Something like that.
Cool. Grappling styles.
There are styles of grappling?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's use the style where I grab her.
Yeah. The task is called immobilize,
Okay.
but
cool.
you guys would recognize it as a grapple check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so you choose not to do damage, and then you're gonna try to immobilize her. Is that what
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we could go ahead and roll opposed fitness security.
Well,
Actually,
Is it opposed?
How about the lowest setting I can use on the lowest stun setting I can use on my phaser?
Either way.
I'm going with the phaser.
Okay. Control security to fire.
nope.
And you actually hit the wardrobe. So now she is very frightened at this point. I will spend another threat. And she's going to try to hit you as hard as she can with it. Still with her tricorder, by the way.
Just
And after her go, you guys will be entering from the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, if you could give me another daring security, please.
It goes to the attacker.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 stress.
Oof.
Yep. Yeah.
Jula, stop getting beat up.
You'll actually. So I did forget this. Unarmed.
Oh, it
So
has
knockdown.
knockdown.
Yeah, it's an unarmed strike, so it has knocked.
But getting up is a minor action, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then at this point, Evans and Varro, you enter the quarters after hearing this scuffle.
All right.
And you see him being attacked by some scientist rogue with a tricorder.
I try and probe her mind.
You're telepath, right?
Yes.
Actually, Var, roll me presence. No,
Insight, wouldn't it be?
yeah, insight command, I think.
Yeah, insight command.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right for this.
We'll go difficulty. Just kind of emotional. We'll go difficulty 3.
Mental discipline
What?
for focus.
Oh, for you? Yeah.
Yeah, because mental discipline is like all your telepath checks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's
yep.
a reason I have it.
Yep. Nope. That's fine.
I'm also spending a momentum for an extra die.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys are done with 0.
Oof.
I will use the complication.
It's okay.
Commander Varro, you sense that she is frightened, and apparently she is frightened from, in her mind, she fears that you guys have come back to finish the job, is kind of what you're getting.
Oh.
All right. Do I glean her identity?
She is a human female.
That's obvious from a visual.
I know, but in terms of who she is, with the
She
rest
thinks
of
of herself as a human female.
with the rest of the information I give you, I think you could figure out.
We can put that. We can put.
I can put her as one of the 2 doctors. Yeah.
Well, one of one doctor.
Yeah, and there's only one that's human and female.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are 2 humans and 2 females, but only one matches both.
Yep. I just totally misread things because they were right on top of each other. Yep. Anyways. I speak to her. Dr. Kirby, we are not here to interfere with your research or harm you or your team.
And she looks up here and says, "Then what do you want?" Still high with adrenaline after like trying to fight for her life.
We were simply sent here to investigate and ascertain the status of this research station.
And she's kind of breathing. So, and she stumbles over words a bit. So Starfleet sent you?
Yes.
And
That's
she just
what I
kinda,
said, didn't I say, wiping the blood from my mouth.
And she drops the tricorder and just falls to your knee, starts like crying a little bit. And she says, "Thank God you're here."
Doctor, I'll need the information you have as soon as you're able to. What happened to the rest of your team?
I don't know who they were, but they came and attacked all of us, and they took the others.
All right. Then if you'll accompany me to the command room,
And she
I'll
said,
need your assistance.
"Yes, of course." And she gets up and follows you.
All right, Doctor. I'll need to access any security footage or monitoring devices that you have. My Starfleet clearance, unfortunately, will not allow me access to these. What you're doing here is, as I've ascertained, highly classified.
That is correct, but even I don't have access to everything in computer data. I am the lowest ranking member here.
Whatever you can provide, Doctor.
What is your rank anyway, Doctor?
She means rank as in like not as in like the lowest on the pecking order, so to speak, not so much a physical rank.
I see. If you're not in Starfleet, then who is issuing your clearance?
We still work for the Federation.
Not all Federation research stations are Starfleet, Lieutenant.
Still, it would help us get more information. Which agency issued your clearance?
And she doesn't really know what to say to that. Like I don't think if I'm able to tell you who I work for, other than what I've said.
I'm maintaining a low level presence in her mind
Mm-hmm.
to see what images come to mind when she says things to us.
Yeah, and if you want to know something more specific, I need.
Yeah, so while Ajula is doing this, I want to see if she's remembering any faces that she feels she can't speak of.
Nothing. Well, really, the people most prevalent in her mind of what you would be getting is the other members of the science team.
All right. Can I get a visual identification of them from her?
Well, okay. So in the file, there are pictures of the scientists as well, and yeah, they're the same.
All right. All right, Doctor. What elements of this station can you access?
Like the laboratory, for instance.
I have clearance to access everything. I mean, I do work here.
Right. In terms of monitoring devices, do you have access to those?
What need would we have of monitoring devices?
You tell me, Doctor.
I kind of go blank for a second, and the people around me can feel a strange surge. It's almost undetectable, but it feels like someone rolling their eyes. It just feels like it. And then it's gone.
I'm too pissed to notice.
I mean, he does probably have a cut on his head that's still bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, when you get smacked with a tricorder 2 or 3 times. Right. Very good. Very well, Doctor. If you can grant us access to the lab, we'll need to make an investigation and determine what happened to your comrades.
I told you what happened to my comrades. Someone tried to come in here and take them. I was just able to hide in that wardrobe.
Yes, Doctor. I am merely trying to make an identification of those individuals.
And she kind of looks at and she points, you already know who they are. And she points to the screen that has the names on them that you pulled up.
You're saying your colleagues kidnapped themselves.
That is not what she said at all.
And please clarify.
She said that somebody came in and kidnapped these.
Yes, we are trying to make a determination of who came in and kidnapped you, Doctor. Do you understand?
Lieutenant Ajula, calm yourself. This is no time for rampant emotions.
Look,
however, he is correct.
A group of people came in here and kidnapped my colleague. What more do you need? I don't know who they were.
We are trying to identify the kidnappers. Doctor, I realize this is not your specialty, but as a security officer, every detail is important.
Understand, Commander. I'm trying the best I can.
Your mind is currently muddled by emotions. It's understandable. If you will grant us access to the laboratory, it may have additional evidence for my investigation.
I can't give you access to the laboratory.
Why is that, Doctor?
Part of my briefing was to not let anyone in there.
Doctor,
other than the other scientist.
Doctor, let me clarify the situation for a moment. You have assaulted a Starfleet officer. I'm arresting you for this.
And let me make something perfectly clear, Lieutenant. I cannot let you into that lab.
Very well. I pull out my phaser and stun her.
All right, give me a shoot check.
Yeah.
Control security.
Mm-hmm. No, I just still had my task roll set to 3.
Cool.
And get a momentum.
Yep, and damage, please.
This is non-lethal, as I specified.
Yeah, yep.
Oh
yeah.
dear lord.
She is stunned.
Yeah. Lieutenant Evans, please take her back to the Kismet.
With my compliments.
Okay. I will go do that.
Oh, Evans didn't like that.
No.
May I ask why we have stunned her?
No, Lieutenant, you may not.
All right then.
There's a reason behind this.
Actually,
Wow.
actually, Commander, I'm kind of curious myself. I say in a whispered tone.
Varro looks over at you, then looks back.
Pen is no longer the troubled child of the Kismet.
Laboratory isn't going anywhere. Lieutenant, see if you can scan beyond the door.
I pull out my tricorder and I try it. What kind of test will this be?
You cannot.
Yeah, I figured this sounds like a do not bother rolling check.
Mm-hmm.
Commander, do you think we should try using our phasers to cut through?
I wouldn't recommend it, not knowing what's beyond there. Even with these biosuits on, we might expose something.
The way I see it, we can either contain and leave, or we can try and get in.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going
I'm
to
all
try and
ears,
get in.
Rex.
I want to go over to the panel for the lab.
Okay. So, question before we do that: did Evans leave with the doctor?
Yes, I did do as I was ordered.
Okay. Just
And
making sure.
whoever I end up leaving her with, I want to ask her when. Wait, how long would it take for her to be, or for her to remain, or to regain consciousness?
Probably the end of the scene.
Okay.
Make sure she regains consciousness inside a cell.
No.
No, I've taken her to the med bay.
Yep.
Med bay.
Yeah, I asked to be alerted as soon as she regains consciousness.
Do I hear about this?
Yeah, I probably should report this, shouldn't I?
Yep.
Would someone mind cluing the captain in, please?
Oh, you're seeing a whole different side of Varro. Oh. Because I've got stuff on his backstory that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's being
Right.
asked. He's being asked to play the espionage game right now.
Okay.
So
So,
not just that. There's other stuff too.
Anywho,
all right. So Evans beams up to the room. Gets probably beamed right to sick bay. I assume that's what he mentioned. And I'm assuming he's going to go tell the captain planet with you guys. I don't know why I keep saying. I don't know why I keep saying planet. The moon outside of the lab.
that's no planet.
That's
Yeah,
a
must be-
moon.
That's gotta be the dense moon. A big moon. I guess it doesn't run on a gas giant, so it could be pretty flippin' big.
It also
Yeah.
has like 1.4 standard gravs, so it's conceivable
Yeah.
it's larger than the Earth.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
it's either really
and-
big or really
and-
dense.
In actuality, it is about the size of our moon, and it is
Okay.
around this super gas giant. And the gravitational force caused by the planet with the other moons causes the heat and the dense gravity.
Right. All right. So as soon as Lieutenant Evans leaves, I go over to the laboratory door controls and carefully remove the access panel.
Okay. Roll me engineering and security, or sorry, not control security or engineering difficulties.
Do I want to go with the discipline 5 or the discipline 1?
I
Go with
gotta
the
give
one.
you the
Live on the
option.
edge. Live dangerously.
If you can't tell, I wrote this for an engineer, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't. Oh my
Sadly,
god,
we don't have our engineer.
We don't have.
Engineering 4.
We don't have our engineer, and we don't have our engineer or our doctor for a biohazard based episode.
yes.
Right.
So as you guys can tell, I am not changing episodes one bit based on people not
Mhm.
showing up.
Nope,
So
I'm
in
aware.
the future,
Yeah.
just so you guys know, if you don't have the spots filled, you might have.
Ajula,
Yes, sir.
if you can assist me here.
Sure thing.
Do you have any expertise with computer systems? I'm afraid my knowledge is somewhat outdated.
I have a lot of experience with encryption and decryption. I was a bit of a math nerd. But aside from that, I have no particular expertise with computers.
All right, that still might prove useful. Take the lead here. We're going to try and hack into this door.
On it.
Okay, so
Can I use encryption focus?
okay, so hold on. What exactly are you guys doing? So I thought you were removing the panel.
So we opened up the door panel and I'm trying
All right,
to...
so the task roll was for the panel to remove it.
Oh, that was just for the panel?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, I'll just make that panel roll then. And then... All right,
Got it. Panel's off.
panel's off. Now
However, the
everything else.
computer does chime in because the computer's going to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Here it is. Unauthorized access detected. Clearance level is insufficient. Wait, nope, that's not it.
I was gonna say, boy, haven't we heard that
There we go.
enough today?
It says access denied. Laboratory can only be accessed by a member of the science.
Great.
Your suggestion is noted, computer.
Security system lockout. Conal Black 32 Alpha. System suspension.
Access denied. Authorization required.
Computer, a new scientist has joined the research team at this station. How can we enter their credentials?
Access denied. Authorization required.
That's exactly what I'm asking you, computer.
Access denied. Authorization required.
You're having to say this a lot.
That's fine with me.
All right, now we've got the panel off.
Okay, Commander, let's see if we can
computer's
get in there
angry.
manually.
All right, Ajula.
Do we have any momentum? How hard is this task getting into the computer system?
So, at this point, I am going to go to the next scene. So, whoever is injured can regain all their hit points. Your momentum will now go down to 0. And the doctor is now awake on the ship. Or not the... Yeah, the doctor is now awake on the ship.
Oh,
Not
Nave
our-
just jumped into 10 forward.
Ooh, please. Okay.
Hello, Nave.
Hey, Nave.
Hello.
You there?
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Nave.
Oh, I kind of made him out, right?
Yep, I heard you a bit.
Okay. Anywho, so the door. What exactly are you guys doing at the door?
We're trying to override the door's lockout.
Okay.
holidays.
I also would like to see if there's a way to shut down power to the computer.
All right, so you guys can only work at one thing at a time.
And
Well, now we-
currently the lieutenant's orders are to hack into this door.
Okay. So, to hack into the door, this is going to be control, security, This is going to be an extended task
Mm-hmm.
with a difficulty of 3. Magnitude is 4. Work track is 15. Resistance is 1.
All right. Let me write that all down.
And then I am going to spend... I'm going to spend 2 threat. You guys have to complete this task in 3 turns.
Oh,
All right.
What door will be forever shut?
Or the
Or
door
something
will
will happen.
no longer be able to be into,
All right.
or any other measure like that.
Commander, we might have an easier time removing the wall next to the door.
I don't want to damage the facility unnecessarily.
So what's
Very
the,
well.
so what's all the stats for this task again?
So it is a control
control
security, difficulty 3, magnitude 4, work 15, resistance 1, must be completed in 3 turns.
Okay, you can do it, Varro. You just have to pop your determination on this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe get an assist from Azula.
I have security 4.
Yeah, I have security 5. What do you have in control?
10.
Okay, yeah, you're leading it.
Wait, but because this is a security thing, that means that you get better dice when you're actually rolling the challenge dice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I have to lead it, you have to assist.
Very well.
This is what we got.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's resistance 1.
Yep.
Mhm.
Damn, okay. Do we have any momentum?
Nope.
New
I,
scene.
New scene.
I switched the scene to take away that moment.
Damn. Okay.
And this was always written in scene
in
3
this way.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna pop your determination again?
Yep.
Same for me.
I don't think you can. as an assist.
Assisting
Can't pop an
cannot
assist.
use determination.
Yeah. Although you could pop it on a subsequent roll.
Yes.
All right, that's 4 successes.
Yep.
Then
The assist.
and Azula.
Okay. It's not showing up.
Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I heard the roll pings.
Hmm.
Did roll 20 crash on us?
Roll 20.
We're talking about Ajulas.
there we go.
Well, there it is.
Let's go with the first one.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm going to. So you guys got 2 banked momentum. Var, please roll.
I knew that was gonna happen.
7. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
5, 6. So right now you're at 5.
Mm-hmm. As long as you can consistently do that for the rest of these checks, we'll have it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're cool with that, that will be 1 breakthrough,
Mhm.
reducing the difficulty to, and you have 10 work remaining.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Reducing
was one.
difficulty
And
to-
that was 1 turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, roll your challenge die to see if you get your determination back again.
Oh yes. I'd love to. Nope.
Ah. It was. Hey, you got 2 uses out of it this game. That was.
Yes, it's true. All right.
You are typically
After about a total of 120 years in service, I really feel like I ought to be a veteran at this point.
Okay. So
I mean, it
Julia, you
look
want to
like
take...
I'm in my mid to late 20s.
So I'd spend one of those momentum, Varro. Get a 3rd die.
Yeah.
And do you have cautious security?
Me? No.
Oh, yeah, you're not well, you're cautious, but you don't have cautious security.
Right. I have other things.
Yeah.
Some of which I need to change out if I ever get any sort of milestone, which I have not.
So you're gonna roll 3?
Yep.
And Jula will roll the 1.
I'd like to ask if I can use composure for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I use just sheer white hot rage sublimated at this door?
No.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Gosh!
Well, I don't think there's any way we can get it now.
That
No.
is beautiful.
There's no way we can make the check now.
I don't think I've ever seen this before.
No,
Why?
technically,
That's
there
not-
is. Technically, if Ajula takes the lead on the next one, spends his determination, and we get enough momentum.
I don't know if it's for every 5. I don't know if it's for every 5. I think it's just if you get 5, it's a breakthrough. I don't think we're gonna make enough. Unless he somehow rolls phenomenally like we might have to, unless he rolls phenomenally well and we can spend momentum somehow to get it.
There are momentum spends. That we can use.
Yeah, but I doubt it. I doubt we're gonna get it.
Phenomenally well, like I did on that first check with the computer that came 1 short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, are you gonna? I'd honestly call it and say that we're not gonna be able to get in. Instead of spending your determination. Because you might waste your determination for nothing.
It's true.
Since we're probably not going to get it.
I
anyway.
can't hear anyone on audio. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying we probably shouldn't do it because it's such a long shot, and it would be
If you
such
can't hear anyone on audio,
it would be such a. Oh, he cut out. He dropped.
because he couldn't hear us saying that we could hear him on audio. You know?
And now he's offline.
It's like calling somebody on their cell phone to tell them that they have left their cell phone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jula.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, what we
Okay.
figured is that we probably shouldn't do this check because we'd have to spend so many resources to have even a long shot of doing it.
Yeah. Wow. A 16, a 17, and an 18.
That sucks.
Uh-huh.
We don't
Yeah.
get extra points for the straight either.
Wait,
There's literally no way we can actually make the check now. I can tell the way Ed structured this task. He structured it so that you have to do everything right.
Yep.
Mhm.
There's no room to mess it up. I've seen tasks like these before. So I'd stop now.
am I misinterpreting?
Okay.
this? It looks like a Jula got a 14 on his roll.
It doesn't matter because Varro
Okay.
Faro failed anyway.
Varro failed. Yeah, I'd stop here instead of spending any more resources on it.
Okay, I brush the sweat from my brow. I face the commander and I say, Commander, I think at this point we should talk to the doctor, say that if she doesn't give us access to this laboratory, we're going to come down here with a cutting phaser and gain access that.
Guess we're not getting in here before security locks us out.
Can I, before they go and do that, can I go meet with the doctor?
I assumed you would.
Because Jesus H. Christ, this poor doctor.
This poor doctor is going to be facing charges.
Penn has the bridge.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm probably going there too, because I had a question.
So
So yeah, if the extended task that we're calling over, go ahead and go to the ship.
Yeah.
With the
hang on, I'd like to go meet with the doctor first.
that's what I was saying. I was just about to say, Dr. Effort, to the captain, that the person that was beamed up with the severe phaser burns has been treated and is now awake.
phaser burns, and he just, again massages the bridge of his nose. He goes, all right, I'll be right down. And so,
Yeah, Ijula got pretty much tricorder whipped twice by a wimpy doctor, so he's currently a little pissy about it.
Let me get my doors. There we go. Doors.
I walk in and I go over to, I presume, the only completely unfamiliar person in this sick bay to me right now.
Yep.
So you're awake.
And she just kind of gives like a very deep, like, breathe in. And you can visibly tell that she is very upset.
The captain sits down. I apologize for the actions of my away team. They're a little trigger happy right now. Believe you me,
Did Penn tell you the actions of the away team?
Evans?
Sorry, Evans, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I absolutely would have.
Oh,
Okay.
Totally.
Because it's like, hey, we have someone in our med bay, here's why.
Don't you fucking pin this on me. I wasn't there.
So, trust me, they're going to be getting a very, very stern talking to after this.
Somehow that does not make me feel bad.
No, I wouldn't expect it would. Now, listen. I understand your apprehension about everything that's going on so far. But, I mean, you can look around you right now. You're in a Starfleet sickbay on the USS Kismet. You're about as safe as you're gonna be.
Safety is a funny word. Officers protect me end up shooting at me.
No, and as I said, a very, very stern talking to is in their future. Now, listen. We're very concerned about this missing science team, and my away team needs everything that they can get.
I don't know what else I could possibly give you. I don't know who kidnapped my colleagues. I don't know who they were. I don't know where they went.
All right, well, okay. Evans gave me that rundown. In that case, he sits down and he crosses his fingers into his hands and he says, let's try this from a different angle. Tell me about yourself, Doctor.
What's there to tell? I'm a xenobiologist. I've been working here for about 6 months.
6 months. And before that?
I was on Earth, working in a lab there.
All right, and from what little I could glean off your record, you're a xenobiologist? Xenobiologist.
And she's like, yeah. She kind of nods like, yeah, as in, didn't you hear me say that? Type of yeah.
And your colleagues, Dr. Naftanar, medical doctor, Dr. Manu Kalba, geneticist, Dr. Tapril, immunologist. That's oddly specific. When you have a research team of 4, Doctor, you usually want those with a specialty to what you have going on. You were researching diseases, weren't you?
I really can't talk about our research, Captain.
I understand. But at the same time, I think I already have a very good idea of what your research was, because, well, let's just say that the Kismet has had some infections recently that weren't entirely natural.
Oh.
Yes, we encountered a colony world in which the inhabitants were being infected by an illness that was not introduced in a natural manner. No, somebody used the replicators to make viruses.
I see.
Now, I guess my real question is, what's someone like you doing on a tiny little... How does someone like you go from a Federation lab on Earth, center of the Federation, to, oh, this hot little backwater rock out here in the middle of nowhere?
I ask myself that every single day, Captain.
Yeah. Did you know the other scientists on the station before you started working together?
The only one I knew was Dr. Dinar.
And what can you tell me about Dr. Dinar?
Not much. I mean, he's been kind of like a family ever since I've known him.
Ah, okay. I see.
So I started working here really as a favor.
Oh, okay. So you were a recent addition then.
Yes. I've only been working here about 6 months.
Okay. How long has this facility been operating then?
Oh, you'd have to, if they were here, you'd have to ask one.
Oh, I see. Now, something that my security officer explained to me that maybe you could explain if it's not in the security clearance, I get it. But, they noted that the place didn't really look used at all, as though it were right off the factory floor. Why is that?
And she kind of sighs and hangs her head. Captain, I am somewhat of a clean freak. And she kind of shakes. Things out of place just bother me.
Right. Can I make an insight command to see if she's hiding anything from me with that?
No, she seems genuine.
Okay. Interesting.
With the statement that she has a bit of OCD.
All right. Now look, if we're to have... Well, okay, what can you actually tell us about the kidnapping itself?
They came all of a sudden, and it was everything I could do to just hide in that wardrobe. I grabbed a tricorder and set it to mask my life sign.
Did they beam in?
I think.
Okay, that would suggest that they came in a starship then. How long ago was this?
Couldn't have been more than a few days.
A few days. Now, just out of curiosity, this is something I'm assuming we would know. Like, how often were they supposed to be making these check-ins? Like, does that about correlate with when they dropped off the radar?
Since here, I'll just send you something because I think it pertains to your mission.
Yeah. Okay, all right, yeah. You see, that's what I wanted to know. All right. Okay, so this kidnapping happened 4 days ago, but you've been missing check-ins for the past 3 weeks.
I don't know anything about check-ins. It wasn't my job to work our communication system.
Now, whose job was that?
And she kind of thinks for a minute. I think that was... I'm sorry, I just got to get the names right. I think that was Dr. Caleb. Or
All right.
probably the name I can't pronounce because I chose a Middle Eastern name. That one.
That's odd. Well, that's certainly odd. Your station has been incommunicado with the rest of the Federation for the past 3 weeks. They only sent us out here because you've missed the last 3 check-ins.
I had no idea.
I don't want to make any assumptions, but if that's the case, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that this was an inside job of some kind.
But who would do that?
I don't know.
And why would they leave me there? Like, wouldn't they know that there were 4 doctors?
Yes, but you said it yourself. You've only been working there for the past 6 months, and you're a xenobiologist. No offense, but that's not as strict a area of study as, say, immunology, which, if my hunch is correct, is vital for whatever project you're working on.
Just doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. Did they use any kind of weapons?
I didn't get a good look at them. I assumed they had.
And wait a second. You had a tricorder when my crew found you. Were you recording?
No, I was just trying to use it to mask my life sign.
Right. I figured that'd be too easy. Look, I'm gonna level with you. Your lack of cooperation really is not helping. And I know that my crew may have been a bit drastic.
I don't see how I am not cooperating with you, Captain. I'm giving you everything I know.
They need your access. They've been trying to access secure terminals all day with no luck. Not even my captain's level of access will do it for them. They need you, Doctor.
Captain, roll me presence command.
Yeah.
Difficulty 2.
Oh, sweet. Okay. How much momentum do we have?
1.
1.
1.
Complication
Guys,
range 6.
Yeah. Well, shush. You guys mind if I spend that?
Nope.
Because then I get cautious. And I don't think I have a focus here. That's okay.
A focus law, actually, reminding her that you're
Bam!
complying with lawful orders.
Bam!
Now, you got to remember, this wouldn't be a lawful.
Yeah. This is, and I got that momentum back.
Yep.
Sweet.
And she says, you know what, Captain? For you, I think I can do that. But I don't want them anywhere near me.
Understood. Would it make you feel safer if I went down with you?
I suppose, but I don't even want to see them.
Understood. Well, I'll have them return to the ship. The captain stands up, taps his comm badge. Captain to Commander Varro. Commander Varro?
Oh, just as you said that, he said, be right back.
Oh, god damn it.
Jula here. I think Barrow's a little bit indisposed at the moment.
Okay, well, in that case, I ask that the,
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, yeah, welcome back. So I call Varro. Commander Varro.
Sir, I'm sure you want to talk to me.
Yes, I have managed to secure the doctor's assistance. However, it comes at with a slight caveat. You and the away team are going to need to leave that base right now.
Understood, sir.
I just look at Commander Varro. I'm really like, what?
The doctor is understandably upset with me, Lieutenant.
I take it somebody's going to be down here with the doctor. Eyes on her at all times.
Presumably the captain. I'm not happy about it, but...
Commander, we've got to have a little better than presumably here.
Lieutenant, not your place right now. You will obey the chain of command. And Varro sounds the most pissed you've heard him in a while.
In that case, you guys gonna beam back up to the ship?
Very well, I beam back.
Is that a yes from Barrow?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Pens. So once I hear that they're back up on the bridge, I'm going to go with the doctor to the transporter room.
I'm not on the bridge. I'm in the security office filling out an incident report. So I can press charges against this doctor. I'm making sure they've bagged and tagged the tricorder with my blood all over it. I am seriously pissed here.
You also opened a wardrobe to a frightened doctor wearing a biohazard suit.
And then threatened her.
First of all, I was there, first of all, because I was ordered to be in this facility from my captain and from Starfleet Command indirectly. I was in that particular room because I was ordered to be there by Commander Varro. I opened the door, was immediately assaulted. I responded by identifying myself as a Starfleet officer, ordering her to stop attacking me again, get against the wall.
So the attack happened before you. It happened as soon as you opened it. So just to clarify. Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, the doctor and I are gonna beam down to the facility.
All right. Are you taking anybody else before you beam down?
Well, it doesn't sound like she wants to see any of the people who came down with me, so no, I think I'm just gonna go down with her.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll just be neighbor Pen.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pend wasn't there.
Whoops.
Don't worry,
Sure the
I
captain's
can
through
just
the door.
stay on the bridge.
No, I apologize. It's I was under the impression that like she wasn't gonna go down if anyone else was there.
Okay, she wasn't gonna go down if anyone that was in the room that attacked her was there.
Oh, whoops. Would you like me to bring Pend along?
I mean, give him something to do.
Yeah, sorry, Pend. Come along, Pend.
Woohoo!
It's like 2 minutes later. Can we also have Lieutenant Pen? Send him down.
Yeah, sorry, Pend. All right.
All right, so it's the captain, Pend. So essentially, we just switched through like you.
Yep. So the captain looks over the desk, because he's sort of gotten all this description up till now, but this is the first time really seeing it all. Looks over the desk, he says, "Wow, you weren't kidding. Really are a neat freak."
Yep. That's why it looks so clean.
No, don't worry about it. And he walks over to the computer terminal as he, boots it up ready for her, and he says, "It's cute." And he motions to the terminal for her.
And she steps up to the. You meant the laboratory door, right?
Yes.
Okay. So she goes up. She goes up to the door, and I did not write dialogue, so I gotta make for this. She says something along the lines of laboratory access, Dr. Maddie Kirby, authorization, some numbers, then sounds good enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, so the doors open up to the lab, and the lab is set in a rectangular room. On the left side is a set of full-size containment cells capable of fitting like a full-size humanoid or like a large animal. All the cells are turned off save for one at the far end. So there's like 4 of them, and the one at the end is
Has
turned
something
on.
in it.
Yeah, it's turned on.
Okay, is there something in it?
Hold on. On the right side are desks that sit smaller containments. Each containment cell on the desk are active. So there's 4 desks, they're all active. At the far end of the lab are computer terminals seated in the middle, are another set of computer terminals. And seated in the middle of the lab are desks with different lab equipment on them, microscopes, imaging scanners, what you'd expect to see in a lab setting. Stuff similar to what would be on the labs on your ship.
Wow, this is quite the facility.
Yes, we were doing important work here.
All right, let's see what
And
we've
she
got.
starts to enter and goes to one of those desks and has a pad and grabs a pad and starts like flipping through it.
I'm also going to take a pad and see if I can flip through one. Hopefully the pads in here aren't also administratively locked.
They're not, but you don't recognize anything on it, mostly because it's a lot of scientific jargon, and it almost looks like a different language to you. It's not, but it looks like it.
Okay, this is... Ooh, and the captain just, shakes his head. All right, that's different.
Shall I say, I'll pick a pad up and pretend I understand what's happening with poker face.
That would be penned.
So, did they take anything?
It didn't look like it. All the inventory is here, and she hands you like an inventory pad. This is everything we have. Nothing missing.
Anything on that inventory list that I might recognize? Just like
like high-powered microscope, imaging scanner, a certain number of like data pads, data chips.
But anything else is stuff I wouldn't recognize.
Right.
Ugh, okay.
Is there biomimetic gel on that list? I'm curious.
If you tell me what it's used for, I could give you an answer.
It's used for healing extreme injuries and bioweapons.
Probably not. Maybe.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Didn't think that far ahead, Devour.
Yeah. Okay. So
Irrelevant info.
So he looks around at all these little force fields. He said, "Why do you need them this small?"
And she looks like those are the different diseases and pathogens that we are studying.
So you're studying diseases for the Federation, then?
These particular strains are extremely deadly and can spread rapidly between humanoids. So our positioning on this deserted planet far away from any type of civilization would mean that if these were to get out, the only harm would be to
the
science team. Right.
So,
I see.
So, question, with his hand up, so that probably won't affect me, but the captain's screwed.
These diseases are so volatile that they do infect many different species, including some animals. We found that some animals are more likely to be carriers, and we were trying to test cures on them. However, most of them, as you can see by our empty cells here, have thus died because of these.
Just take a step closer to the door.
And so, as you guys kind of look at the small containment cells, those are the names on them.
Okay. Anything we recognize?
Definitely not.
Okay.
If
so I know
the doctor was here, she might have had a role, maybe.
Okay.
But she's not here, so.
Nope. Okay. So, you said that there's one cell that's still got the energy field up.
I said that, but she didn't.
Well, but I know you said that, right?
In the description, yes. So, like as you were looking into the, you noticed that one of the large cells still up.
Okay. Is there anything in it?
Yes.
What's in there?
All right. So, in the lone large containment cell, sitting toward the back wall, is a device that is shaped like a red cube and has vacuum tubes coming out of the sides. There's no listing on this containment cell.
Okay, for 1 second, first off, out of character. God H damn it.
And second, do not say anything.
Nope, I won't. But I won't say anything. But he looks in the cell and says, "What's that?"
I'm not sure what that is. I gotta get my name of doctors. Hold on. Because I don't even remember who I named. That is something Dr. Tapril put in there. I'm not sure what it does.
Okay. Is the cell safe to enter?
I have no idea, and quite frankly, with everything that they do here, I wouldn't even trust it.
I understand. Let's see. So is the whole thing enclosed in a force field then?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Can I try to get a scan?
You could try. I don't know if you'd get something through the containment field.
What would the difficulty of the check be?
Probably 4.
Ugh. Okay.
Mostly because you're scanning through the containment field that they have set up to not allow anything to penetrate it. Does that make sense?
Is there a terminal nearby?
Just the computer terminals.
I mean, can I ask the doctor if she can access one of those to see if there is information on there?
You could ask her in roleplay.
Yeah, go ahead, Pend.
So, Doctor, considering apparently you have no idea what's in the force field, do you believe one of these terminals might have something that could illuminate us?
I only would imagine that Dr. What the fuck is her name? Tapril might have kept something on her personal computer, and she got to point to the one in the center. That's it.
Do you mind if I have a quick look?
By all means, I don't see the harm. Although I'm not sure if you'll be able to get in. All these computers are voice encrypted for each doctor, so I'm not even sure if I would be into it.
Can I attempt to hack the terminal?
You could attempt, Ben.
So how impossible?
If you want to attempt, I will make it a difficulty for
you. Yeah, I'll go for it. What is it?
Engineering, or security,
Control.
and control.
Well, I'd spend a momentum. Get a third die. You actually have a pretty good shot at this.
Could I get away with using composure?
No, it's not a stressful situation.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend 1 momentum for an extra die.
Alright, I got you guys at 0.
Okay. Let me get rid of my momentum. Oh, hey, and he got it.
Yep. But you're not going to like what you hear, Mr. Penn.
Oh, god damn it.
It says, access denied. Laboratory computers can only be accessed by a member of the science team. Or more specifically, instead of saying science team, it's by Dr.
Okay. Doctor, is there any way to determine whether or not there's anything currently, other than this device, is there a way to determine whether there's any biological material in this cell without scanning it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, this isn't a project I was working on, so I don't know much about it.
Is there anything else in this room? What else was there? Well,
Doctor, 2 questions. One, could you show me where this person's other work desk is and where their quarters would be?
You're talking about Tapril?
Yeah, Tapril's.
And she kind of walks to the door and just points out that, well, that's her desk there. And her room is on the far right as you walk into the...
Okay, Captain, if you want to continue with the Doctor, I'm going to try something which probably won't work.
well, I leave it to your discretion, Lieutenant. Do what you must.
I would like to use deductive reasoning by going through the desk and Tapril's quarters to try and possibly come up with some form of passcode.
Okay, I'll leave you to that. And at the moment, I am actually going to head up to the ship. And this will be a new scene.
Not like we had any momentum anyway.
Right. But in case you guys were wondering, I thought that felt like a good place to end that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll head to the Kismet with the bridge. And Lieutenant Evans, you have a little communique.
We have an unidentified ship coming into port. Just drop that a warp.
Should I scan it? I say to whoever's in charge.
That would be Varro.
Varro? You there?
Maybe.
Varro? Does not seem like it.
He did not say that he was leaving.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know.
Order.
And Penn's not on the ship to take it over.
I am an empowered employee.
I will be right back.
I guess it's a good time to take a little break as we wait for...
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Oh, now he's back.
Well, you guys continue. I'll be right back.
Okay, Commander, there is an unidentified vessel incoming. I am scanning it on my own initiative because I'm empowered like that.
Woohoo. Do you...
Sir?
Because I'm in the ready room right now.
Oh, that could be why he wasn't on the bridge and or not responding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So
finding
yeah,
a ship that we were having a really... You know what? I'll re-roll one. Wait, I still have to roll for the ship first.
well, you wouldn't roll for the ship unless you got a... So...
I thought you rolled for the ship in any case. It's assisted.
No, in order to get the assist, and this is for all cases, the initial task has to roll one success.
Okay, I'm re-rolling one with technical expertise. For all the good it does me.
Oof.
Yeah. You cannot penetrate the ship's exterior.
Hey, Evans, you think our phasers will penetrate the ship's exterior?
And if you guys are wondering what it looks like,
Gray accents on vital areas. So they have targets. Evans Tavaro, we have an unidentified craft coming into orbit.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I'll be right there. A couple seconds later, the ready room doors open,
Yep, hold
And
on. I got doors. Boom.
and I take the center seat of the bridge.
And that's what you see on the view screen, my little description.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried hailing them?
Not as yet, Commander. Waiting
Alright.
for you.
Open hailing frequencies. This is Commander Kunal Varro of the Federation starship Kismet. Please state your intent.
They're not responding, Commander.
I warn you, there is a Federation presence on this planet, and if you try to interfere with our mission, we will be forced to take action.
Again, there is no response to any communications. However, the ship is moving into a stationary low orbit above the research outpost.
Perhaps we need to use a form of language they will understand.
I'm not going to open fire on them without any reason, Lieutenant.
I was suggesting a tractor beam, Commander.
That's
Perhaps
possible.
I should have been clear.
Helm, are we able to move the ship between them and the research outpost?
Who's at helm?
Just probably a NPC, and they reply, "Yes, sir. I think I could get us between them."
Execute.
Aye, sir. And they move the ship between the gray ship and the research outpost, so you're between them in a defensive posture.
Commander,
Hailing
would
frequencies
you like to
open.
throw shields up?
Oh, yes, I assumed they were up. Ray shields.
Actually, we were probably at least yellow alert.
Mm-hmm.
At red or
It never hurts to specify. Maintain yellow alert.
Alright, maintaining.
tractor beam, sir?
Have it prepared, Evans.
Alright, it's ready.
But nothing yet. Keep weapons powered down for now. We wait for their move.
And there is no reply, no further movement of the ship. They're still in that stationary orbit above outpost.
Lieutenant Jula, I want you to keep a sensor lock on the away team.
On it, sir. Will this require a test?
No.
Varro to transporter room 1.
Go ahead, Commander.
As you know, currently shields are up. If shields go down, I want you to get the away team out of there the second they go down. Understood?
Aye, sir. I'll be standing by for the confirmation that shields are down.
Very good. Ejula,
Sir.
are we getting anything from that ship?
I was unable to use the sensors to penetrate their hull, and they're still not replying to any of our hails.
All right. Any sign of shields of their own?
I'd like to roll and find out.
You could go ahead and give me that same roll. Difficulty 3, however. Yep, there it is.
And I get a little assistance.
What focus did you?
Sensor systems.
Perfect. Yeah, let me know if you're using a focus before, so I don't have to ask you. And then I just need the ship. Whoever's rolling the ship, there it is. Perfect. Got one momentum up.
Okay, so my bonus question will be...
Hold on.
Any
Let me give you
shield?
the info first.
No sign of a shield system, Commander.
Understood. Sorry, I missed that.
Commander, I'm not detecting any life forms on this ship.
Were you able to bypass whatever was keeping you from scanning before?
Yes, sir.
More and more disturbed.
Perhaps another away team is in order?
I don't want to strain our resources too thin, Lieutenant. And currently they have the advantage. Kismet to away team.
Get my chirp. The captain back.
I'm guessing not.
Waiting here.
Lieutenant Pend, Captain, that we have an unidentified alien ship in orbit. It registers no life signs and has not made any response to attempts at communication. It's in a geosynchronous orbit over the research facility. Has made no other moves.
Oh, Captain, my captain, where are you? Where's typing and stuff, so...
Yeah. Doctor, do you know anything about this ship that's in orbit?
Pen, you are actually still looking around in the rooms.
Okie doke.
So yeah, you were rummaging through all the stuff in the... This is going on.
Yes, I'm trying my new career as Sherlock Pend.
Oh, fuck. That was my elbow. That did not feel good.
Oh, I was wondering what that sound was.
Corman.
Did you strike the nerve that's right there?
I don't know what the hell I was trying to adjust my seat. Like, my arm slipped off the seat.
Ugh.
Oh, well, that'll be fine.
Alright.
Yeah, just waiting on the captain, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just make some bullshit roll just to see if I find nothing?
Either way, you don't.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Commander, what do you say we assemble a crack team of supporting characters to go and board that ship?
An investigation may prove prudent.
Shall I say I'll head back to the doctor and the captain then, because if I'm not going to find anything. Well, I found nothing, but the commander did state there was a vessel in orbit. Doctor, do you know anything about this?
Yeah, I think we just wait for the captain, because it makes more sense to have you guys. But I don't want to advance too quickly.
Yeah.
So we are waiting on Captain Greta to potentially give one of his long speeches.
Yay.
Yeah, I hate my internet. I thought like he was back already.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Because like he was typing in Hadfield chat, and then all of a sudden not here.
He might have been like on. Oh, he's gone.
Oh man. We'd be like nearly done with. Or did like the captain's voice cut out?
Not sure. I have to step out for a minute. My stomach is absolutely killing. Sorry.
Well, I mean, this is probably a good time to take 5 minutes.
Well, if the captain's not back by then, I'll go back to my original plan of shooting the captain.
I think we might have to take that as an option.
Oh, don't tempt me.
I'm back.
And just as you get back, Commander Varro steps up.
Oh no.
We were actually waiting on you because they were trying to heal.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately he got shot, so we'll have to deal with that.
Wait, what?
No. we were saying that if you're not back and shoot you. So we got the captain back, and now we're. So while we wait, hello,
Hello to who?
the Discord viewers.
Oh.
All 7 of them. Well, I guess 6.
Well, no, actually, here's the thing. I reached out to, before the stream started, I reached out to ELH of Ophion, Adonia, all those games, and he's actually hosting right now.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, what daft bastard wants to watch this stuff?
And he is confirming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He runs he runs some really good games. I would watch more of ELH's games if only I weren't so bogged down with 10th Fleet stuff. So
Yeah.
In all
Running
fairness,
2 games does get taxing.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, doesn't he run like 3 games or something?
Oh no, I think he
Or
I
like,
think he runs 3 or 4 of them.
ELH, how many games do you run?
I don't know how many he runs. Well, it's either 3 or 4, but either way, wow. Props.
Yeah, I could barely keep 2 straight at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, 3. Yeah, he also released a PDF pack of missions that actually got shout out by Modifius, so that was pretty neat.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I save all the notes for the missions. I guess I wanted to do something. You know, the Zarkonian missions, because that was.
Oh yeah, no, the Zarkonian arc was just. Oh yeah, that's right. It's also on Drive-Thru RPG now.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, I would like to state to the viewers
How you say that?
that it is sometimes more entertaining than, oh, someone's disappeared. They come back, someone else has disappeared.
Yes.
They come back,
Yeah,
someone else has disappeared.
Yeah, we are usually not this disorganized, but this is our first game in 3 weeks, and we are rusty to say the least.
And all we got to really pen to chicken act.
Oh god.
Did Varro come back yet, or is he like dead too?
Who?
Varro? Is he back yet?
No,
Wait,
not
I thought
yet.
He came back. Did he leave again?
He's left again.
Yeah. Yeah, we are not having luck with keeping our players straight tonight.
Definitely not. Well, I mean, like half of everyone's sick and stuff too.
Yeah.
It happens.
I mean, yeah, because
I didn't expect to be dragged away for so long. Is the thing.
to be fair, I wasn't even going to stream. I was just going to record.
Well, like I just saw like half of the other ships were like in chat still talking. I'm like, hey, maybe they want to stream. And if I had my stream set up, I would, but it's set up for. I guess I will communicate Varro and ask if he's dead.
Yeah.
And I have been swearing more. It happens.
Yep.
Normally I'm good with that. Tonight, nope. Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, generally I have to tone it back while I'm playing with people. So
That would be me. I am the captain, Harmon Grennan.
Captain Furry.
I'm not a furry. I swear to God. We've been over this.
Well, to be fair, you've been having lunch every day, or not every day for a week, but like
Every
once
week.
a week.
Yeah, human. I'm a human. Yeah, I've been having lunch once a week with Cecile in the
Cation.
But, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, she's a Cation. What of it? The captain's also hardcore flirting with this human doctor right now, so...
I mean, plus you got the Zirconian chick as well.
Oh yeah, I did also get the Zirconian chick.
Did you?
Okay.
Oh, okay, everyone's back. Hey, everybody officially back?
Woohoo.
Okay. Yes.
I now feel like a human being again. Not about to die.
Well, that's no good.
What?
Okay, so anyway, we'll just jump right back into it. I believe the commander was trying to hail the captain. So we'll go ahead and start with the trip.
Varro to Grennan.
Captain here.
As I informed Lieutenant Pend, there's a unidentified starship in geosynchronous orbit with the research facility. They've not answered our hail, check no life signs from the vessel.
I see.
I currently have the Kismet positioned between the alien ship and the research facility.
The captain looks to the doctor, looks to Pend. He looks to the force field.
Ben is not in the room yet.
Oh, he isn't?
Ben is still in the other thing,
Okay.
doing his search.
Okay. And he, talks back into his comm badge. Alright. Keep a monitor on the situation. If nothing changes in 5 minutes, beam us out.
Understood, sir.
Captain Grennan out.
And the doctor turns to the captain. Did he say a ship in orbit?
That would appear to be the case.
And she kind of has like this frightened look on her.
And the captain just, puts hands on her shoulders, says, "Don't worry. We're gonna keep you safe."
Or she can bash it with her tricorder.
And she just kind of nods. Shakes her head up and down like she understands.
Okay. Good. Good. Now, can you open that force field there?
I can try.
Okay. Give it your best.
And she goes up to the containment field, says her command code with her voice authorization, and the containment field lowers.
And the captain walks in, and he picks up the small box.
Okay. It is a box with vacuum tubes coming out.
Now, what on earth are you? And he takes out his tricorder and he gives it a scan.
I have tricorder scans.
Do I need to make a check?
Nope, I'm actually.
You're gonna send me the information that I totally don't know,
Yep.
except now I do?
Yep.
Huh. That's odd. Looks like this device is designed to turn information into some kind of a readout. Looks like deals with genetic code. That sounds about right. Looks like these displays here where to put out the information. Have you ever heard of something like this before, Doctor?
I don't know what Dr. Tapril's research is. I've never helped her with this. And
Well,
she walks up next to you to try to closer look of it.
kind of odd that the immunologist would be working with such a hardcore piece of genetics technology. You'd think that'd fall within the strict confines of Dr. Kolb's research.
You would think that.
This is definitely something to keep an eye on. It's a start, at least. Now, how about Penn? What's Penn find?
So yeah, Penn I already told Penn what he.
Oh.
Penn, is probably a good opportunity to come back into the lab.
Find anything? Find anything, Penn?
No. Just no. No. Just.
You don't sound sure.
No, it was just a waste of time.
I see. Well, in that case, and I think this would probably be a good point for the 5 minutes to be up.
Yep. I was going to let you finish your dialogue with Penn, but yep. Commander Varro, the ship still has not done anything other than sit there in standard orbit above the outpost.
All right, their time's up. Lieutenant Evans, lower shields.
Lowering shields.
And as per my orders.
Yep, the transport happens. And Penn, the captain, and Dr. the transporter pad on board the Kismet. Captain, I'm still assuming you're holding the device.
Yes, I am. Doctor, I'd suggest that you go situate yourself either in sickbay or find some quarters. Penn and I are going to head to the bridge.
Very well, Captain.
We'll talk later.
And she exits the transporter.
What do you think, Penn?
Well, I don't like that place, considering the amount of infectious diseases that we're messing around with. And considering you now have a box in your hand, which, let's be honest, we have no fucking clue what it is or what it does. With a ship in orbit, which we have no idea why it's there or what its purpose is, full stop. Something just seems off. Really off.
Well, that was... I agree, Penn. That was a very lucid point of view on the whole matter. I think you summed it all up very, very nicely.
And the very next words are, I am the very model of a modern Major Penderroll.
Information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. The captain continues as they get on the turbo lift.
Wait, but I have turbo lift doors now.
Yes,
Do I?
we do.
Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh dear God, where did I put it?
Where did you put the turbo lift doors?
Not
Probably
the
next
doors,
to the turbo
like,
lift.
like the noise. Like I have.
Oh, like the turbo lift noise?
Yeah,
Ooh. Oh, here it is.
I saw something move.
Found it.
Can we just
Oh.
listen to Gilbert and Sullivan instead?
So yeah.
No, Sullivan.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. After a few seconds of
sounds
that. Yep. And we step out onto the bridge. And what's the ship that we see on the view screen?
Let me get the.
I didn't get a description for it.
Yeah,
Red
it's
in colour with grey accents on vital areas, engines, etc.
would be-
Rectangular shape curving in at the.
I will post it again.
Oh no, does it look anything like the box I hold in my hand?
GM says nothing.
Mother.
Well,
Oh wow, that's. Well.
Captain, I'm glad to see you've returned.
Good to see you too, XO. Well, now that I see the ship that we're dealing with, the captain sits down and he holds up the box in his hands. I think we might actually have another piece of the puzzle.
An interesting conjecture, sir.
I have a hunch. Is either Lieutenant Nave or Lieutenant Ajula there on the bridge?
Ajula is.
Yes.
Okay. Ajula, I'd like you to try hooking this up to the ship's communications.
What is that, I say?
It's a piece of technology pertaining to genetics. It takes information in and turns it into readouts. Genetic readouts.
What kind of information? Is it a sensor device? Or what does it scan?
No, it's not a scanner. It takes in information from like, you know, computer information.
Captain, I'd recommend extreme caution in hooking up.
Yeah, I just sort of stand there for a moment trying to make sense of what you're telling me. You're saying it takes unrelated information and transforms it somehow into genetic code.
Not the code itself, but it looks like it translates it into a readout for genetic code.
I can't say I understand what any of this is, but I can try.
Give it the old Trill College try, Lieutenant.
The number of times this Trill has gone to college. Okay, what kind of a role is this?
Let's call it controller daring with science. We'll make it difficulty 1.
I had such a mean comment and I had to hold it in.
Of course you did.
Okay, can I apply a termination to this?
It's a difficulty 1.
Oh, never mind.
I highly doubt you're gonna need it.
Good.
So he was hooking it up to the power?
No, communications.
Oh, okay. Nothing happens.
All
Well,
right.
Captain, I can't say if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, as I have no idea what it's supposed to be doing.
Try hailing the ship again. tie in
I
the
do.
tie in the device that you just installed to the transmission.
Okay.
This is Captain Harmon Grennan of the USS Kismet. Are you receiving this message?
No response, Captain.
Is it, does it have shields up?
We didn't find any shield systems.
Hmm.
I was proposing to the commander that we send an away team.
Any life signs?
None.
In that case, away team it is. EXO?
Lieutenant Evans, Lieutenant Nave, want you over there. Captain, I'm staying here.
My way.
You're staying here, Commander?
Yes, sir.
Care to give a reason?
Unsure. It's a gut feeling.
I see. Very well. Evans and Nave it is. I'd bring Ajula along as well, though.
I did say that.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay. So yes, Ajula, Nave, and Evans.
Hold on, I'm on this team?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry if I cut out there.
Do I need to switch Discord servers? Really bad difficulties with you guys.
A little bit.
It's
Might
not
be
super
worth-
bad. I just lose like 5 or 10 seconds every now and again.
Maybe that'll fix it. I mean, it is windy in the central part of the United States today. So we'll attempt that. But I mean, I've been fine. I mean, other than the people that cut out normally, i.e. Ajula sometimes. Other than that, I've been hearing everybody
yeah.
okay.
The Julian has been more clear than usual because he does tend to drop sometimes.
Yeah, no, he's been fine.
I'm using touch to speak. I think that's the issue.
Oh, okay.
So in that case, then let's just send the away team over.
Okay, cool. You guys ready to beam over?
I believe so.
All right. Ajula, Nave, and Evans. There you go. And the quiet of the ship is intentional. So there's really like no noise on the ship.
Well, that's unnerving.
So you are beamed into what looks like a sort of command center for the ship. All the walls are like a dreary gray color with red tubes lining the ceiling in a bit of like a uniform pattern. I'm not going to describe the pattern. You guys can think of it on your own. The ship's interior is like of a very basic design. A single corridor about 10 meters wide leads toward the aft of the ship with multiple doors that lead into what look like cargo bays. And there's only a single panel located in each bay. It looks to be like a basic food processor. So you're beamed into this command center. It's open. It opens into a corridor without any doors. In the middle of this control center is it's just a panel. And there's like 4 doors on either side of the corridor that, when you walk to them, open into large cargo bays. And there's a single panel with which looks like food processors.
I'm sorry, what processors?
Here, I'll post it in chat. But food processors.
So there is evidence of a organic crew of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sign of a user interface?
The computer in the middle of so there's the computer in the middle of the command center. It's just a panel, like a slender panel. And then there's only the single panels located in each bay next to the food process, what look to be food processors.
Okay, I walk up to the computer and I see if I can find any intelligible information.
Okay, let me get to that. When you walk up to the computer panel in the control center, it's in a language that you do not recognize.
No matter, I'm sure it says inadequate clearance access denied. We'll use that to we'll use that to try and determine what the language means. I'm going to enter that into the Universal Translator.
Oh man!
So what do you do?
Try to
at
use
the
your
panel?
tricorder to hook Universal Translator through the tricorder for a visual translation.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Not sure to work.
Well, we
So
got
you're
to
trying-
start somewhere.
So you're trying to decode the language on it?
Yeah, see if we can make some sense of what the language is.
Okay, let's go. Reason. I'll even throw an insight with science. We'll make this a difficulty 2 task.
Okay, I'd like to spend a momentum to buy an extra die. If that's all right.
Yep. So I got you guys back down to 0. Cool. So it finally is able to so your tricorder is able to translate the phrase on there, and all it says is computer is locked, will require an access code.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Because of course.
So, has this entire episode has just been computers telling Ijula to sit fuck off?
Pretty much.
Hey, they say it's a Varro too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man!
I feel like inadequate clearance might have been a more fitting title.
But let me be clear. This one did not say access denied. This one said requires an access code.
Mm-hmm. Because you haven't
I
tried
was
an
really
access
hoping
code.
to use that exact phrase to try and determine what the language was. Okay, well, I go around and I see. Do we have any sense of what form this access code would take? Is it a string of characters? Is it? Do we know anything about the structure of the language?
Really, you could make up anything you want at that for this point. Whatever you think it would be.
I guess I could just try a brute force attack for the code. I have no idea what the phrase would be.
Types in computers are stupid.
If you want something that is thematically fitting with what's established about this device beforehand, make it an acoustic code.
An acoustic code? I'm not sure what you mean.
It is a code that is written into sound.
Like wave patterns, almost.
Yes, a wave pattern code.
Just draft the perfect wave function that you need to enter into this computer.
So what's the check?
There is a check. Yes, there is. It is control or reason using security or engineering. Difficulty is 3.
Okay.
Has encryption and decryption focus.
Yeah.
And I would like to use my determination on this one. I'm going to be using on a shakedown cruise for the new me.
You'd have to sell me on that.
It's something new and exciting. I'm trying to test my capabilities.
No, okay, that makes sense. Yes. So you got 4 successes, right? You get a momentum out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to give you some info. So before I give them the info, what are the other 2 members of the away team doing?
Oh, yeah. They're there.
I'm standing behind a Jula, trying to figure out what he just got.
All right.
Behold what decryption excellence looks like.
Evan,
ta-da!
This is
Evan, you doing anything?
think I'm gonna be looking in the cargo bay to see if there's anything interesting in there.
All right. Ajula, before I give you the information, you did pass. I just wanted to see what he's doing first. So what are you doing in the cargo base?
Oh, okay. I heard cargo base. Everything
Alright.
else before that.
Sorry. So Evans, what are you doing in the? I'm just gonna call him a cargo bay. Since you said you were checking them out.
Oh, I think I'm gonna need that typed possibly.
Did it cut out again?
But yes, but I can hear now. I can hear now.
Okay. So you're inside the little cargo bay things. What are you doing inside of them?
I'm looking around to see if there's anything that would seem somewhat strange in there.
Yeah. So they're basically just like the gray walls with the red tube things in the ceiling, making their uniform patterns. And the only thing in this room is what looks like a food processor with a control panel next to it.
Hmm. And that's true all four of them?
Yes, same design, same exact things in them.
So do they look like they're particularly reinforced, or?
No, it seems like with what you know about starship design, it seems like very basic. Like it's really just made to like get into space, and that's about it.
Okay.
Like it's definitely not made for comfort. You know, like no one's going to be comfortable here. You know, it's like a functioning design.
It's the Apollo rocket of warp travel.
Basically.
Man, I can't think of anything to do except just go back to the command center.
Okay. Cool. So Evans walks into the command center when Ajula gets this from his role.
I certainly hope you two are having better luck than I am. I haven't found anything interesting or useful.
Okay. After the congratulatory booyah, so the computer only displays one line of text. It's Dr. Kirby, input coordinates per prearranged agreement.
It was an inside job.
I invite everyone to come look at it.
And then I'll give Nave and Evans the same info. Or just post in chat.
Oh, Dr. Kirby, god damn it.
Mm-hmm. Varro has good gut instincts.
And Kirby's the one we captured, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would
Note
like
that I
to.
put her under. I'm still pressing charges, by the way.
There.
I have put something in chat, like 4 lines up.
All right, so let's stay in the scene, guys. So you guys are still on the ship. You have just found out that information.
Julia to captain.
Captain here.
We've managed to penetrate the computer system on this alien ship. It's displaying the message, Dr. Kirby, input coordinates per prearranged agreement.
I'm sorry, what?
The phrase, Dr. Kirby, input coordinates per prearranged agreement, is what the Universal Translator is giving me. I would take this to mean that she is in league with whoever or whatever took the other sign.
And the captain just slumps in his chair and says, understood. Please return to the Kismet as soon as possible.
Captain, is she in custody?
She's about to be.
All right. Glad to hear it, Ijula.
Captain, if you'll allow me.
I would like you to wait outside the sick bay. Or did she go to the sick bay?
Computer, locate Dr. Kirby.
Computer responds, there is no Dr. Kirby on file.
Great. Well, I guess we have to check the sick bay first.
Computer, transporter records.
The last
Human
beam
female.
out, the last scheduled beam out, and it just reads off the awaiting.
It doesn't read the beam in of them?
They have not beamed in yet.
Oh no, not the away team. It doesn't read. It doesn't register Dr. Kirby and the captain beaming in.
Oh, you just said the last beam in.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant beam in, not beam out, but that was weird phrasing. Sorry.
It does record that, yes.
Location of human female that beamed in at that time.
And then the computer says Dr. Kirby is not aboard the ship. And at that point, we'll go ahead and beam the awaiting back.
Hello, Captain. It appears we have a manhunt.
Agreed. Quick question: how big is that ship?
Not
Are
very.
you asking me?
Not very big. It's.
As in, we could lock a tractor beam on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Evans, lock a tractor beam on this ship.
I think
Alright,
I'll
lock
just.
tractor beam. And how has the search for Kirby gone?
The computer does not register her presence on the ship. That
Have
means
we
either
looked
she
for
left or
non-Starfleet
she's.
personnel?
Sorry, what?
Have we looked for non-Starfleet personnel?
Not yet.
We're gonna have to start a full-scale security search. I put you in that, Varro. Evans, I want you to maintain the tractor beam and keep an eye on that ship for any strange signs of activity.
Yeah, we'll do.
Security teams. We need a deck-by-deck search, including Jeffrey's tubes,
Lieutenant
for a human female matching the following description. And I give a description, Dr. Kirby.
Yep. And the security team acknowledges and complies.
Lieutenant Pend, I have a request. Do you think you could get us in the shadow of one of the other moons on this in this planetary system? One that could potentially give us a good vantage point to monitor any comings and goings from this system. From this planetary system.
Yes. In all fairness, Captain, you can ask me to do anything with flying a ship, and I can probably do it.
Of course.
All right. I am heading down to the shuttle bay as my first stop.
Okay. So, Penn, your action. Like, what are you actually doing? Where are you going? What are you doing to follow the captain's orders?
So I'm going
I thought the
to.
captain was just asking if it was possible.
Yeah, he was asking if it's possible for me to basically park the ship on the dark side of a moon so we can still scan the area in case something happens.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
But we'd like to tractor the other ship along with us.
Oh, so you do
Okay.
want to move?
Okay, so first we got to do the tractor beam task.
Mhm.
So I believe that would be Evans.
Can't be that difficult because it's not a ship that's trying to avoid it.
Right. I mean, you still got to hit the ship.
Right.
That's basically the difficulty. Is 2.
Do we have any momentum?
1.
No. This is the last scene.
Oh, okay.
So I did switch scenes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I assume tactical systems applies.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh god damn it!
Ship, please.
Who has ship up?
I can get it up. And what's the check?
What is it?
Structures.
Structure security, I think.
Yeah. Hey, well, we did succeed.
Okay. You did succeed. However, the complication is when you try to engage the tractor beam on the ship, it sends an inverse beam, an inverse pulse of the tractor beam back at the ship. Not only knocking out your tractor beam, but also pushing the ship about 100,000 kilometers, or 100, no, let's go 1,000 meters away. Can't be that far.
Mr. Penn, get us back to that ship.
Yes, sir. It's not really that difficult. Yes, sir.
And yeah, you're back where you were.
Okay. Mr. Evans, try to lock a tractor beam on again.
Oh, the tractor emitters have been blown.
Oh.
That was the complication.
Unfortunately, that's not possible.
Huh. That's odd, because we still succeeded at the check.
I know, but reasons.
I
Okay.
mean, we could still park the ship hidden and monitor where this ship goes.
That's true.
Also, would
Although
it be prudent to remove our little mother box we applied to the console?
I believe so. I'd put it in my quarters. I'll take care of it myself. And the captain takes the box and he walks into his quarters.
quarters or ready room?
Or his ready room.
Okay.
He goes into the ready room. He sits down and he says, "Now let's watch you come to me." And I'd like Varro to start making his security sweeps and Pend to plot a course for a nice blind spot behind a moon.
Yep. All that happens. Penn reports in position. Commander Varro and his security team report that they have not found any trace of Dr. Kirby since she left the transporter room when you beamed onto the ship.
Understood.
At this point, I probably storm onto the bridge and say, "You heard me say I placed her under arrest for assaulting me, correct?"
I mean, to be
I'm
fair,
not on the-
Jeweler, we've all thought about
Neither
it.
of us are on the bridge.
I'm not on the bridge right now.
That makes
You're
me
talking
the
Currently, the
Evans
ranking
and
officer
Penn.
on the bridge is Lieutenant Penn.
yeah. To be fair, Jeweler, we've all thought about it.
Actually, it might be Evans. It might be Evans as security officer.
During this situation.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah, so I think it's just Evans and a bunch of red shirts on the bridge.
Although I'm in my quarters.
You mean ready room?
Or ready room, god damn.
So,
Just move
yeah,
your
so,
course.
so Ajula, you were yelling at Penn.
Okay, there's always a good reason to yell at Penn.
Hey, keep
And you may not have been involved in this specifically, but I'm sure you were involved in plenty of other stuff I don't know about yet. But I will find out.
keep up, and you might have quantum fried chicken for lunch.
What?
Yeah, that's changed your attitude, hasn't it?
I actually didn't hear the first part of that sentence.
Quantum fried chicken.
That doesn't even. I just opposite. That doesn't even make sense. I'm a quantum physicist, Pend. How do you? What does quantum What? What?
Go
What?
sit down, Ijula. Just got his head in his hands. Just sit down.
I just stand slack-jawed, like I'm surrounded by idiots.
Well, a pen on the bridge, you might very well be.
Yeah. He knows how to fly a ship. Very, very well.
Yeah, okay. I just sort of mouth to myself and walk away.
Success.
Okay, so I think the next thing to do would be to send a pen something.
Oh. Bridge to captain. The ship has powered engines and it's on the move.
What direction?
Away from the moon.
All right. Begin an intercept course.
Alright.
And I am going to go back onto the bridge holding the box.
Okay. And by this time, I mean, it wasn't that far, and Penda's an excellent pilot. He's pretty much caught up to the ship. It's only moving at probably quarter impulse at the moment, but it's moving away from the planet. So it's already broken the moon's orbit, and now it's leaving the gravitation field of the planet.
Mr. Evans, hail the vessel.
Evans, I believe, was on a security detail.
Oh, was he?
Nope. Evans was still on the bridge.
Oh, was he?
I'm
Okay.
the one leading security.
Okay. Then yes, Evans is on the bridge.
Hail the vessel.
Right, attempting to hail.
I really should just copy and paste this.
Dr. Kirby.
And to no one's surprise, there is no response.
Mr. Rajul, are there any life signs aboard?
Are there any?
Give me a new scan. Control signs difficulty 3.
God's sake.
Momentum?
I don't think we have any.
Nope.
But
Have
it's
a-
assisted
have a
by the
threat.
ship's sensors.
Oh, but we do have the sensors, so it's difficulty 2.
Aha. I keep forgetting about that. I forget you guys have high-res sensors.
Ha-ha! Ignore my sensors check.
Cool. So
So
you get 2 momentum.
Aha.
Sweet.
Yes, you detect a life sign.
User free question. Is it human?
Is it human?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I say with a snarl.
Mr. Evans, target the ship's engines. I want that ship disabled.
All right, I will forcibly slow it down.
Okay. Go ahead and give me control security difficulty 3.
and spend a momentum, and we are targeting the engines
Yep.
specifically.
Yep.
So, and we don't have the increase in difficulty because we keep the fast targeting systems.
They're good.
So it's difficulty 2 then.
Difficulty 2, using tactical system focus. Okay.
Damage, please.
And we get a momentum.
Well, 2, but yes.
Damage. Here, I can roll damage.
Ooh. Yo!
You blew up the ship.
I hope not.
So right now you are at 7 damage. Any effects before damage, or do we go to damage?
Let's see.
Oh my god.
We might want to take a devastating attack with that, with a versatile 2.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my god. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage.
What does devastating attack do? Sorry.
Devastating attack deals half of the inflicted damage to a random system.
Okay.
So 5 damage to another system.
Cool. That's it?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, do we want to do devastating attack?
Oops. Ignore that one.
Sounds like we did.
Oh man. That was
So devastating attack, right?
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, so structure.
Okay. So the phaser beam hits the ship. And the phaser beam entirely dissipates amongst the structure of the ship. As you guys watch the energy dissipate, one of the red panels glows a bright red, and a red beam of energy shoots back at your ship, returning the entire damage load to the Kismet.
What?
Oh.
that's 15 damage.
Damn, we just played ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, so resistance 5, so that's 10 damage. That's still 2 breaches to what?
We'll go structure and weapons. 1 to
gonna
structure, 1 to weapons.
Yeah, shields are still at like
Matt, trying to fix that.
shields are still at 5%.
Now, do you understand why I did the tractor beam that way?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay, that makes sense. Var's
just
just
like,
like
yeah,
on the
no,
lower
trigger,
deck
trigger,
somewhere.
trigger.
Have we tried using the transporter? We detected no shield system.
Agreed. Try to transport her over. Mr.
Okay,
Nave,
what test will this be?
I'd say let Nave do this. Because this is
Transport with science.
It's engineering.
What do we got the numbers?
Transporters are control engineering.
My control's 10 and engineering's 4. What about you, Nave?
The same.
So I just sent Nave something?
Of course you did.
Of course I did, yep.
I cannot walk onto anything inside the ship.
Clever girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nave, can you send one of us inside the ship?
I could try.
I volunteer.
Yes.
Nope.
Sorry, Nave, you said you couldn't?
I said I could.
At least send someone who's trained to do this, like me or
I am
Evans.
security 4, and I'm seriously pissed.
Mr. Ajula, go ahead.
Thank you, Captain. On my way.
Oh, I hope not. That sounds like it could go badly.
Yeah, don't send a guy with full security and 12 in both control or undaring.
Okay, so where would you like to beam into on the ship?
Command center, presumably.
Okay. Nave, go ahead and give me transporters control engineering, correct? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Transport.
And what does the ship assist with?
The one thing I did not look up in the rulebook was where the bloody transporter task was.
I'll check the archived stuff.
I'd be rolling 2, right? Standard.
Spend a momentum.
So, but it's
Yeah,
going to be
3.
it's going to be. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's going to be difficulty 3. It's control engineering assisted by sensors engineering. So I guess that would make it a still difficulty 2.
Shabam.
Cool.
And
So you guys overall get 1 more, so you're up to 4.
Nice.
Because you spent 1
Yep.
and then you got 2, so yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have
so
4 momentum
Yep,
to
so
spend.
you have 4.
So good news is, Jula, you have 4 momentum to spend beating the tar out of her.
Either
Thank
that
you
or
so
saving
much.
yourself.
There is a Jules transport on to the there it is. Onto the ship.
Oh.
And again, it goes eerily quiet, and you see nothing in the control room. However,
Okay.
on that panel, you now see a flight path has been programmed into the computer.
Okay. I very quietly and stealthily, as much as I can muster, look around. I see if there's any signs of a human in the room with me.
There's not.
And once I'm sure that I am safe, I walk over and I look at the flight plan and I see if I can recognize where we're headed.
I'll go ahead and send that only to you. I hope I spelled that right, but I think you could figure it out from there.
Huh. Okay. So I continue searching bit by bit. I try to be as sneaky as I can.
Okay. So like, yeah, you got to be, so specifically, like, where are you going?
The only other location, well, I'm going from the control center to the corridor.
Okay. The corridor is still empty.
Okay, and I just try and get a peek inside each of the cargo bays.
Okay. So you're just kind of going up to the door, letting the doors open and looking in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to be, trying to avoid going into blind alleys and trying to be quiet.
All right. So when you get to one of the ones that are further toward the aft, you hear one of the cargo bay doors open from the front, toward the front, that is now behind you. So it sounds something like this.
Okay.
And you see a humanoid run into the command center now.
Okay. If she's running, I just shout, Federation Starfleet, stop where you are.
And she just runs straight into the command center.
I fire, I stun her, which I was immediately preparing to do, figuring this is what she would try to do.
Impossible from there. Like, she ran straight into the command center and to the side. So you couldn't get a clear shot.
Okay, I dash after her.
Okay. As you run up to where the threshold between the where the corridor opens back up into the command room, I'm going to spend 3 threat to do this. You run directly into a force field, and it knocks you to the ground.
Whoa.
Okay. I get back up, just still quietly pissed.
And at this point, she's kind of standing off to the left side of the room, kind of against the wall, and is just looking at you. She seems to have some type of what looks to be a type of weapon in her hand, but you can't make out what it is.
I say, what are the Ferengi paying you that could be worth spending the rest of your life in a Federation detention cell?
Ooh.
What makes you think it was the Ferengi that paid me?
Oh, you're right. The Ferengi don't pay people who aren't Ferengi. I'm thinking you're just a moron.
Well, see, I'm not the one that got himself trapped on a ship. And I'm going to spend 4 more threats.
Oh, great. How much threat are you at, Ed?
I got 3 left.
Oh, okay.
Making it interesting.
Victor, can you even imagine the scenario in which this ends well?
Can you imagine a scenario where you get out of this?
Yes, I can easily imagine a scenario where you arrive at Ferenginar, where they realize you have a captive Starfleet officer, where they realize there is in fact an arrest warrant out for you, and where they decide to sell you to the Federation and take whatever you've brought with you. I then imagine this would be a very funny story that the successor at Jula's tell their children about that moron who tried to kidnap me.
Well, funny story about that. And she walks over to the control panel and retypes and just taps in on the console again. I don't think we're going to Ferenginar at all.
Oh no.
Yeah. At the time, I'm looking to see if there's a access point or panel for this force field.
You don't see any.
Any sign of a power source for the ship?
Not that you can detect from where you're at. And in fact, you guys did not even detect a power, you didn't even see a power supply room when you beamed on initially.
Say, I can't wait to hear this crazy plan.
I don't think you need to hear anything. I think it's just time we sit back and enjoy the ride.
And tell me, who's taking you for a ride?
I do believe you will know soon enough.
This should be good.
And I think at that point, we are going to cut to the Kismet.
Okay.
And I gotta type something.
I'm assuming I've returned to the bridge at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's on the bridge.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have Nave taking on Azula's station.
Alrighty.
Lieutenant Penn, keep.
There's a buildup of energy in the engines. I have a feeling they're going to warp.
All right. Prepare to maintain. Prepare to go to warp as well. Maintain. Keep with them.
Yes, Captain.
And Pen, you do notice that they did increase speed to full impulse.
That's still relatively easy to keep up with.
Yeah, just FYI.
Yeah.
They changed speed.
Okay. Any word on their course?
None so far, but they have increased speed.
Pen, go ahead and give me a reason con check. Let's make this a difficulty 4.
Could the ship's computers con help?
Yeah.
So, would
And,
my focus of
and feel free to
astro
spend a
navigation...
weapon.
Would my focus of astro navigation help?
It sure would.
Hell yeah.
So, Ed,
Wait, Pend actually knows where he's going?
Penn knows a lot of things. Ed, how would you like a couple of threat?
You know I would love threat, Pen.
Oh no.
We have momentum.
He's also bold, though.
Yeah.
I would like to give you
That's true.
4 threat and 2 momentum.
That works for me.
Oh my god. Okay.
Have you used a determination yet, Pend?
Nope, but where's the fun in that?
Pend, you are killing your captain.
We'll just give him a promotion. He knows it.
Computers, please. Yep.
I also
Cool.
get a reroll for one of those zeros.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay.
And so you're at 5, so you actually gain a momentum back. And then I
Yeah,
have to type
reason
something
8.
fast.
Oh my god.
There you go, Pen. Sorry for all the typing, but you definitely have done something, and I had to change a little bit.
Captain, it appears that we're heading deeper into the expanse.
Well then. Let's see what's out there. And I think at this point we jump to warp.
Question, Captain. Considering the ship seems to launch energy back at us, what about a love tap?
What?
We have a ship. They have a ship.
What are you suggesting?
I think he's suggesting that we
Ram them.
engage in a little bit of ramming.
Not full on, just a love tap to see what effect that has.
A love tap at faster than light.
They have not gone the warp, however.
Oh,
I'd recommend
by
we
all
don't
means,
record again.
please ram.
You know, Pend? There are many orders that have been given aboard ships over the past millennium or so. I'm about to give an order that hasn't been heard in, I'd say a good 500 years or so. At least not aboard any spacefaring ship. Mr. Pend, ramming speed.
I can't believe I'm getting away with this.
It's a lawful order from your superior. Ram it.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I gotta find the ramming speed stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, I've got it here. It's Daring Con difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's engine plus con.
Hey,
So
I'm gonna bounce, guys. All right.
All right, man.
if successful, deals damage equal to 2 plus the ship's scale, with spread, vicious 1, and devastating. We also take damage equal to 2 plus the target ship's scale, with spread, vicious 1, and devastating.
Okay. keep in mind, you guys have already taken damage to shields and to systems. But go ahead and roll the task.
Captain, should we advise our crew to prepare for impact?
Indeed.
It's just so fucking stupid.
I nod. All hands, brace for impact. We're going to red alert.
Come on, Red
Because we
Alert.
hadn't
Why are you not
actually done
working?
that.
Why are you not working, Red Alert?
I hear.
Oh, there it is. It's just quiet.
I actually don't hear any of the sound effects on my end.
So
Do you have
Can
roll
everyone
20
hear
muted
that?
ready?
yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, not a thing.
It's possible you have a setting muted in roll 20. Since that's where the sound is coming through from.
Anyway, Red Alert has just been initiated. By all means, Pend, roll the ramming speed.
So I'm going to give you 1 threat and 2 momentum.
Reroll that comp.
Yep.
What's the ship roll?
The shit rolls.
engines
Yeah.
Yep, engines and con.
Nice. 5 successes.
Cool.
Or
And that
6.
was
Yeah, 5 successes.
6 successes counting the ship.
beyond close. So it was 3 difficulty because they were probably medium range. So you get 2 momentum back.
Nice.
Yeah, so the damage is 2 plus the ship's scale. And
So
it's-
you're going to roll 7 challenge dice.
Yep.
And the ship is actually going to roll 5.
I'll take care of that.
Well, they're going to roll 5. Was that Penn's roll?
Yep.
Wow.
Alright, so they are taking
2, 4, 6, 8,
6,
11.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Minus the scale, right? So that'd be 8. With vicious, so that brings it back up to 11.
And devastating.
And spread, yep. Yeah, and then you guys will just take 3, apparently. So you would take none.
I did say give them a love tap.
So after being knocked to the floor, I just shout through the force field, "Oh,
Okay.
you feel that?
Alright, so hold
That
on.
would be the completely crazy Tellarite.
Hold on, Ajula. Alright, so on board the other ship. As soon as the impact is felt, the force field goes down. The entire ship is thrown to the left very hard, that both you and her are thrown into the wall. I'm gonna spend 2 threat. Ajula, roll me 5 challenge dice, and she's gonna roll 5 challenge dice as well.
I think I've just killed them both.
Not bad, actually. That's only 2 damage.
That was mine.
And that's 3
3?
damage.
Yep, 3. Cool. So yeah, Julie, you're gonna take 3. She takes 2. With the thrown to there. But as this is happening, there's sparks flying and things are coming apart, and like emergency force fields are coming online and failing. The ship is falling apart around you, and you estimate that you do not have long before the ship is gone.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I still have my communicator,
Mm-hmm.
so I just quietly, call back, Jula to Kismet.
Nothing happens. Remember the 4 threat I spent earlier?
Oh no.
Hey, Doctor, I think that crazy Tellarite's finally gonna kill us. He actually threatens my chicken. Seriously, I have a chicken on the Kismet, a pet chicken. And he actually threatens to kill it. And that is the guy at the helm of the ship that's following us.
I think I broke him.
All right.
I just want to see what her reaction is.
she's still like kind of stunned and just shakes her head. Not so much in disbelief at your story, but like kind of like she's lost. And we'll go back to the Bridge of the Kismet.
I can't believe that worked.
Sensors. Damage sustained to enemy ship.
Evans, you're reading that it is coming apart at the seams. You estimate that the warp core will breach or that the ship will explode in about 5 seconds.
Oh no, we got 5 seconds to get him out of there.
Beam them out.
Transporters, do you have a lock?
Okay, so at this point, so it's already a base difficulty of 3. I am going to spend 2 threats to give you the complication of trying to transport off of an exploding ship, which will increase the difficulty by 1. I'm also going to spend another 2 threat to make the complication range 2. So you're now at a base. So you're at a base difficulty of 4, and I'm just going to spend the other 2 to give you the same complication. So we'll make it a difficulty 5 task, base difficulty 5 with your sensors difficulty 4.
Can I direct?
At this point, you guys have exactly 1 action to get him out.
Yep. Mr. Nave, get him out of there, and I am going to direct him to. I'm going to direct Nave.
So Nave did have to leave. So I think you're gonna have to find somebody else to actually roll for it.
Oh, for God's sake. Who actually has engineering stats?
I think we have to pull in a support character for this.
Yeah, because I've only got 2.
I'm the last person you want.
So I will let you use 2 support characters to use Nave.
Okay.
Or if you have a transporter chief, I'll let you use one. Either way.
I'd say Nave, because Nave is a full-on character. And I'd like to invoke Nave's value. At a starship is a home, its crew a family.
That works for me.
To spend the determination, that's 2 successes. Don't have a focus, unfortunately. How much momentum do we have?
3.
Okay, I'm gonna spend all of it to get 4 dice.
Can't. You could, because you already bought the momentum. You could spend 2 to get 1 more dice.
Okay, that's fine. I am satisfied with that. And then the ship will assist with sensors engineering.
Yes.
Okay.
And the captain will assist with command presence. Yep.
All right. Roll some dice.
Okay.
That was Nave's, right?
Yep.
It's Nave's roll.
Pretty good roll. I think you guys
Starship roll.
got there. You're already there, so.
And the captain's roll.
Oh yeah, complication maybe.
Ooh, and that 0 was very close to being a complication.
It was.
I forgot to set the range.
Do I live?
Hang on.
Got 1 more roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then, right at the moment of the ship exploding, Ajula, you hear this sound.
No, I don't, because Roll20 still doesn't work. Seriously, when I'm the GM, I play the sounds that I put in. I can't play any of the sounds you put out.
Yeah, I don't have an explanation for that. We're gonna have to check your settings here. But so, the sound that you were supposed to hear was the telltale sign of the Federation transporter beaming you onto the transporter pad aboard the Kismet.
I'm guessing the doctor didn't get with him.
We could spend momentum.
Yeah, get the doctor.
We generated
Could we?
a bunch. I mean,
That sigh.
Get the doctor.
We generated a full 2 advantages worth of momentum.
No, I don't think you could because they weren't next to each other. So it would have basically had to have been 2 beams.
Okay, I guess.
So I mean, I know you guys got the momentum, but in terms of making sense, they were essentially nowhere near each other.
Can we use the 5 momentum to create an advantage? Where they were right next to each other.
Yes, I was going towards her. You know, the idea was making sure that I was in physical contact with her so that we could, it could get us both in one go.
No. That you weren't doing that. You were just saying stuff. You weren't physically moving toward her. So, no.
This is rule of GM wanted her to die, and so she died.
Yeah.
Which is very trick.
I wanted the final scene to be I just appear on the transporter pad, just laughing at the crazy day I've had. I get up, I face her, and I punched her in the face. That was the scene I was angling for. Yeah, and then afterwards I say, I can see why Penn does it. This is freaking great.
I broke him.
All right, guys. I think with that Beeman, I think we will call that the end of Accomplice.